It was, man. I just got confused on the audio.
Because you suck. Well, we've never done it before, so just randomly putting shit just wherever. You suck. I'm teaching. I gotta teach.
Is this the show we're doing now? We're just keeping them on the table?
The idea is to not tangle them.
I think.
We gotta teach you.
So give me this one.
We're like the Knights of the Round Table. Everybody puts their weapon down.
You take this one. I will take that one.
Don't touch my shit.
I will touch all of your shit.
Monroe, sit here by me. That little girl, that little one sit there by you.
You'll fucking like it.
What the little girl?
Let the little one. Little one, yeah, she's skinny.
Run with a rabbit.
I've still got preview on, so we'll get the mics going and then.
Just fuck, motherfuck, noise.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4,
noise.
Now you're gonna start talking shit.
Smoking weed, smoking fatty, smoking blunts. Who's got the blunts? We got the blunts.
Shit.
$15, little man. Put that shit in my hand. If that money doesn't show you, owe me, oh. My jungle love, oh. I guess I want to know ya. Yeah, what? Yeah, it's the holy fucking Bible.
Did you know that Jesus was a Jew?
Did you know that the Jews killed Jesus?
Whoa.
Jesus died a Jew, pupils painted blue.
I've never heard that song, but I'm gonna have to.
It's called Jesus Died a Jew. It's by Say Anything.
Oh.
From Say Anything, self-titled.
Like the movie?
Yes.
Absolutely. Fuck you, John Cusack.
Makes it, I mean, you have
I don't like any of the Cusacks, though.
Not even Joan.
Cusack's a nutsack.
Joan's literally the only reason.
Yeah, I
Where she's like the paper doll.
Yeah, still don't like it.
There's mics.
Oh, but you got a fancy chalice.
Yeah, Zach, you're gonna have to scoot around a little bit.
He also has
He's man-spread.
many leather-bound books and
Right.
There we go.
furniture made of rich mahogany.
Do I?
Rich mahogany.
I don't always.
Smells like Bigfoot's dick.
Oh, what's
Don't always
that fancy
fornicate,
glass?
but when I do, they own leather-bound books.
Oh, I gotta grab my phone. Shit. My notes are on there.
You bring notes?
Yeah, I know.
You
You're far too prepared. We wing it.
Make sure everybody's up near the top. Okay. We should have feed.
You want to scoot this way, bud? You're kind of
we wing this.
We should be live. Yep. We don't have a producer anymore. So. Yeah, here it is. There's Fat Boy. Look, there's beautiful Fat Boy coming in there. Yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You are streaming live with us here at Shaker's Bar downtown Cape. This is Sessions. We do this every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. And as always, I have a table full of people. And some of us have weak bloodlines and can't be here. They either have mono or they're all screwed up and smooching each other and can't make it in. But either way, we are here. I don't know. Hey, I don't know.
I got it in middle school.
Kind of, yes.
Some people are more advanced.
That's
than the
Kind of.
Girls mature faster than boys.
Kind of, yes.
Licking toilet seats.
Well,
I never did that.
Let's hope he's not licking toilet seats.
I think we've all licked a toilet seat once.
No, we have not. Weird shit.
Speaking of, have you seen
I'm gonna go with all that.
of the girl that goes the cam girl that went in a 747?
I really didn't want. I really shouldn't have put you on this side of the table. I should have left you over here.
Is it
You
to
two are
balance
gonna
the
be-
obesity?
No, it's to keep you two
Do you want me to trade
lovebirds.
with Brandon?
No, he asked to be over there because they love each other.
This is some extracurriculars going
we
on.
need to
Over there.
I know. All right,
I would actually like to say from here on out, I want him next to me, not Cody.
we're gonna actually have to do something with Zach there because Zach, you're
Yeah, you're barely in that frame.
barely in the frame, dude.
I'll scoot in
There we
the corner. How
go.
about
Good.
that?
Either you're getting vinegar or Brandon is. I'm not sure which. There we go. That's good. All right, folks.
back and watch
This is going to be a great show. We're going to be talking about all things relevant to the world, and we are going to be talking about the Wuhan virus. I refuse to call it coronavirus anymore. It is the Wuhan virus, and since people are saying it's racist, I'm going to say it because it's Wuhan.
You're racist?
It's no, that they're saying that saying Wuhan is racist.
Why? That's where it's originated.
That's what they're saying. Yeah, just like Ebola was named after the river near where it happened.
Right.
H1N1 was named after the type of molecular build it was. The avian bird flu was named after something close to it.
West Nile.
West Nile was named after
Actually, what is it with our diseases being named after alcohols? Avian gin.
Not the same. Not the same, you weirdo.
Corona.
Not the same.
Coming into spring, we'll have Lyme disease with the corona.
Lyme disease is from around Connecticut, so that was because it was in Lyme, Connecticut. So anyway, ridiculous
Learn something new every day.
silliness. Yeah, there you go. So what I want to talk about today is we're gonna go through some things, local things. We're gonna talk about national things. We are gonna really talk about the Wuhan virus, and we're gonna make sure that we have a clear understanding of what's going on, without any kind of media twist or turn or anything else. And then we're going to call out a couple of people today.
Bitches.
One in particular that we're going to bring it up and talk about it and get it out in the open. So let's talk about a couple local things. We had a great Saturday show. Isabella and Guy Morgan and Scatterguns.
Killed it.
And
Was that
it was Friday. My bad.
Yeah, it was Friday. It felt like a Saturday, didn't it?
It did. It was so busy.
Rocked.
And then, of course, Logan Chapman opened up for him. It was a great night. Amazing music. That was, I guess, a show that Isabella was wanting to put together for a long time. So we're super excited that they were able to come down here. We got Scatterguns and Guy Morgan on stage. So that was a great show. Awesome to have them all in here. So speaking of shows, we do have a show coming up this Saturday. This Saturday is live music with, I call it like operatic rock or operatic pop rock. What do you call it? It's Zana and Ravener, and guest Blind Velvet, Final Pollution, and Kyle Wayne Fields are all local bands. And Zana and Ravener's from out of Nashville, and Zana's traveling with them. So it's two lead female singers in a rock band, which I think is really cool.
That is really
They're very theatrical and very dramatic. So now I will say that I did some study on Zana. They both do music with a message, but Zana does a lot of stuff about coming out of rehab and dealing with addiction and things like that. So it's music with a message, which we always really like down here. So make sure you come out and support it. We got live bands, local live music. We want to make sure we support that. Basically, it's a buck for each band, $1 for each band. So that's on Saturday.
Can't get a better deal than that. $1 band.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
know.
cheap
It's
cover.
pretty cool.
You should lower your mic,
I should do it.
like from here to here,
Why?
because your audio is very poppy.
Is somebody saying that?
I can hear it.
You can hear what?
Man, it's already starting. We're already reading people. Move your mic. I can hear you.
Well, it's
already.
kind of helpful because last
is
week we
helpful.
did
It's very
have a little bit of like a.
Is mine all right,
Feedback.
Zach?
Is this better? Is this better, Zach? Do you like this? Do you like this, you whore?
Oh my goodness.
You fucking whore.
So, no, I'm just loud too. Anyway, this is, so everybody knows that are just tuning in, I sent out a bunch of notices to people to tune in tonight because it's going to be a great show. But it is an R-rated show, so if you're expecting not to hear cuss words or people called out or called names and silliness happening, doesn't happen here.
Well, we have a female here, so it's probably like NC-17 now.
Maybe. I mean, I keep it relatively PC. I know that my grandma and it's my friend. Let's see who's watching right now. Yeah, I won't be cursing at all.
Grandma's in for a rough ride for the rest of us.
Let me introduce our guests.
She will back it. She will.
Let me introduce our guests so we know who everybody is. That's Zach over there, being known as Zach Attack. So this is kind of his new thing
What's
now.
up, Tim Godbow?
And
Nicole Justice is watching you guys.
and yeah, Nicole. I told
Yeah,
her to
she
tune
is.
in.
Hey, Nicole. She's so pretty.
Yeah, well,
Inside and out.
she's super smart too. That's
And
one
tough.
thing.
She's got
Yeah,
muscles for days.
Nicole Justice, Cole Beeler's lady.
Yeah. He better never
Yeah,
let that
Nicole-
one go.
Well, so anyway, we'll talk about Nicole here in
Yeah.
a minute because she's actually part of why I wanted to talk about later. We got Brandon here, Brandon Irwin, who was part of
Wasn't me. I didn't do
controversy earlier today, so that's good to have him on.
Someone
We've got
favorite
Chris Monroe
controversy.
back in the house. Chris, last time Chris was on, we had one of our most viewed shows. So I'm hopefully with him and Caitlin, we
Big
can actually
deal.
get some people to watch this thing without the three of us ruining it. And then
We
then, of
already
course-
had 25 people, and all it took was to get Cody off the show.
Is
And
that what it is?
I did start a watch party,
And
so
then-
I've got a lot of people,
And
a
then
lot of friends
someone
watching.
who is bringing such a light and energy to the bar, Miss Caitlin Burris is here, and she was kind of a late addition because we had, so she actually, a couple of guys actually said it'd be good to have her on, and so we brought Caitlin on.
I never shut up.
She's well, no, you have good ideas and you're smart and you're well spoken,
Well, thank
so
you. I
we
appreciate
want to
that,
have
Eric. I really
we
do.
want to have that on. So anyway,
Nicole said that you were going to fight her if she didn't watch. Nicole said you said you would fight her if she didn't watch, and I feel like you would lose.
no, I could whoop Nicole.
She's small and like
No, she's quick, but
Probably pretty bendy.
I got hands for days, so I'm not worried about Nicole. Nicole's a sweetheart, but
yeah, she is.
she's
She would
tough.
fight you.
she's tough. Look at Carl. Carl's looking skinny, man. Jeez. He's on he's on that liquid diet. All right. So a couple things to announce. Everything in your life, everything on TV is canceled.
Yes.
So just stop watching sports. Don't do anything. Everybody said, "Whoa, no!"
Today is the saddest day in sports history.
Yeah, mark this on your calendars that this was the day that everything's changed in sports.
I was looking
So
forward to
not only
going.
did they suspend the NCAA tournament, they canceled it.
A march without madness.
So there is
What?
no March Madness
That is
this
true
year.
March Madness.
This is
I
the
think. There'll
only
be
way
riots in
that the
streets.
Blues get to stay a reigning champ.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's not. But hey, we'll take it.
Sorry, Boston.
Everybody gets one.
No,
Tell him, Peter.
tell them, Peter.
Play Gloria.
Just like a Boston to make excuses. You made excuses for 104 years when you couldn't win a World Series, and you finally, the Cardinals laid down and let you have a sweep, and you still kept complaining.
Is that what you're going
the
with?
curse of the freaking babe. Jesus, I mean, get over it. Why are Boston people so angry?
Every time the Cardinals...
That's why nobody likes Tom Brady.
Because we're fucking assholes, and Tom Brady's a fucking saint, excuse you?
I mean, he's not wrong.
What do you mean he's a saint?
To play game.
Yeah, he deflated his balls in
No,
the
listen,
face.
God.
he's the best quarterback to ever play the game. Then why are you so angry? You guys have 6
How does-
Super Bowls.
how
man.
It's
does-
really
hey, guys,
cold.
Stop
How
whining.
does this play
Take off
into the
the
mass
skirt.
hysteria?
You got the Infinity Gauntlet.
I'm
It's got
confused.
the infinity gauntlet.
I'm confused.
Oh, we do random talks before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour
All right.
show.
I know.
Yeah, we got
I thought we were
caught
going to
up.
spend 2 hours talking about mass hysteria. I
got
got really
caught up.
excited.
We kind of are.
I have 4 different
kind of are.
cases ready to cite.
So all sports got canceled. The main one that I'm really upset about is the SEMO women's basketball team won the Ohio Valley Conference for the first time since 2007. They punched their ticket to the tournament, and guess what? Now they're not going to get to play. So I'm super disappointed, and I will express that later when we're talking about the Wuhan virus. I want to go on with some of this now because I'm big on women's sports because I think women's sports are super important to the world. It shows empowerment, and I want to have my daughters see women in powerful positions because it makes them know that it's possible. My wife is strong, and she has a good job and shows my daughters how strong she was. She was a college athlete. So the U.S. women's soccer team is suing U.S. Soccer over a pay dispute. Because they don't get paid the same as men. In fact, they don't get paid half as much as men. I wanted to bring this up because we're talking about sports and get canceled. Of course, we are going to get on to, obviously, the stuff that everybody's talking about. But I want to talk about this for just a minute. First of all, does everybody agree that U.S. women's soccer should be getting the same money that men get?
Hell yeah.
Literally don't
Hell
care.
yeah. Maybe more.
So then you don't get to talk.
I mean, yeah, they won the World Cup
4 times.
Yeah.
4 times.
Like I said, they should probably get paid more.
Yes? Okay.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right. So
I don't understand why there's a difference in pay. to be honest
well,
with you.
the argument from the U.S. soccer side is saying that the men's side have more responsibility, more things to deal with.
It's more physical.
responsibility.
It's a more
the
physical
same
game.
fucking game.
It's a more physical game. That's what they're saying. None of the arguments work. So here's what I'll say, and I think I can speak. Zach doesn't care. There are people that do not care about this, but I do. I care because I've watched women's World Cups, and I've seen those stands full of people. And I know those people are maybe paying a little less at the stands than charge more. People will pay for it. You've got a whole generation of girls growing up playing soccer that are strong and powerful. So here's what I'd say to USA Soccer. I don't even watch men's soccer most of the time. I watch women's soccer because it's much more exciting, and we actually freaking win stuff.
Yeah, right.
It's hard for me to get behind.
It's fun to win. It's fun to
Well,
win.
it's just our women's team, and because of how good our women's teams have been for so long. Our young ladies are growing up into a sport that's been established by women, and then you're seeing these really strong female soccer players conquering the world. So my thing is that needs to be rewarded, the effort and the
Let's just go with the battle of the sexes. Have them play each other.
Let's do it.
I don't know.
Tennis wise. I feel like tennis is kind of boring.
That's cool, but I don't think that matches up.
I feel like they should honestly mix them. I don't think we should even have men's and women's now.
There could be co-ed. There could be co-ed soccer. There could be co-ed soccer. I really agree.
That's going to draw all the crowds. Then you're not
soccer. The only sports like football and hockey you might not be able to combine because there's so much physical.
There's a lot of women who are very physical and very phenomenal football players. I mean, they're coming up.
Yeah.
That's not sports shouldn't be what sex you are. That's
but there are some arguments for physicality. I will say for a prime example.
And pro wrestling with the ladies, that's way better to watch than the men.
I will say
half the time.
As far as the mixing of sports, in football you can't have, and this is just out of safety's sake, you can't have women playing against men.
Depends on how big they are.
Depends
on how tough they are.
There's a huge.
I think Minnesota can take on a lot of defensive players.
There are in high schools
She wants the new man on the Minnesota
football
Vikings.
players, and they play against the men, and they get hit by linebackers. They do it, and they are just as strong and able, and just as smart as men.
I'm not saying they're not as able. I'm just saying they're not as strong.
You can't have LT blowing up a woman coming across the middle.
I mean, they signed up for it. They asked to be on the football team. They wanted it. They know the risk, just like the male players do. They can get concussions. They can get broken bones.
Once a
and
year,
they do
maybe
it.
like
If they want to do it,
the
let
fire
them do it.
department plays like the police department in a game of football. I think we should do that too. Might as well. Why not?
Yeah. Talking about women against men.
Yeah.
Why can't we just go back to the old days where
Like
everything
all
was
the time, but
fucking normal?
make it an
You guys
event.
What's
ever talk
normal?
to the people in the
It'd be dope.
watching?
Men play men's sports, women play women's
Can we
sports.
say hi
That
to
easy.
people?
Oh yeah. No, I'm fine with that. I'm not saying that women should play men's sports. I'm just saying women should get treated the same. That's all I'm saying. Like,
And no one's arguing against that.
yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying. I don't want women and men's. Be honest with you, I don't want them combined. I don't want women playing with men. I like women playing with women. I like to watch. I like to watch women's soccer.
My grandma's not watching right now.
I like to watch women's soccer. I think it has a certain.
Jake Rhodes, Aaron Strode.
It has a certain thing that men's soccer doesn't have. It just does. There's just a beauty to it that men's soccer doesn't have. And I don't mean beauty look-wise. I mean the way that women play.
So
they
would
have
it
a
be
certain
interesting
grace.
to see them thrown together with men?
No, it wouldn't. I want women to play against women and men to play against men.
I don't think men should play on women's teams either.
No, I don't either.
Well, I don't think there should be such thing as men's and women's teams. I think it should just be sports. I don't think in this day and age, it's 2020, it's the future. Why are we having men's baseball, women's softball?
Since you're saying that, since you're bringing that up.
I'm messaging now to tell people, chime in, I want to hear your thoughts.
That's great. So now I'm going to make you defend your point, right?
Yeah.
So let's defend the point. When you have a son, correct?
I do.
So are you telling your son that women should be able to play sports with him?
Yes.
And so are you telling him that he should take it easy on women?
No.
So you're going to tell a 350-pound linebacker from University of Miami that when he lines up against a woman that is, if you're lucky, 300 pounds. Unfortunately, I hate to say this. I'm not saying this is true all through the world, but most 300-pound women aren't lining up against 350-pound men.
Well, there's a lot of 300-pound men who can't do it either.
No, we're talking about professional athletes.
Exactly. She's a professional athlete.
Who?
The woman on the supposed football team. Yeah.
No, see, I don't have to suppose men, because men are everywhere that size.
They were given that as a privilege.
What do you mean?
They started football. Women weren't allowed to play.
No, men's size is not a privilege. It's what we have.
The size is not the privilege. That's not what I'm saying.
That's why we play football.
The sport is their privilege. The sport was made for men.
So you're okay with men playing women's softball?
Hell yeah. If men want to play softball, yes.
So why would you call it women's softball?
It wouldn't be. It would be called softball.
Oh, so you don't want anything that belongs to women?
I want co-ed. I think women should be created as equals. We shouldn't
it deals nothing with an equality.
It's physical attributes.
Segregation.
It deals nothing with segregation.
In the 60s.
No, that's completely different.
You're right. It is not. No, it's not. I'm not digging.
You are.
Ask the
digging
people.
to make a
That's
point.
not digging.
You're
I'm
digging
not
to make a point.
Separate is
you
not
gotta stay on point.
equal.
Okay?
I'm staying precisely on the
point. We don't let people dig to make the point. You've got to stay with your point.
I'm sorry that my views are different from yours,
It's not your views, but
historical.
listen, It's not your views. Is we don't let people dig.
Well, you put me in my place. I appreciate that. I will not say another word about it. I'm sorry that I've offended you in any way with that.
Nobody's been offended.
So,
Nobody's offended.
but you guys asked me to tell you my point and back it up. That's how I backed it up.
Okay, but what I'm saying to you is you cannot dig back to. You're going from genderism to race.
We're already.
That's what you did. You went from genderism to race. No, you don't.
It's the same way with the way homosexuals are treated.
So you're saying that your gender is the same as being a black man in the South when he got lynched?
No,
okay,
not by any means.
But you can't compare that. You can't compare race to gender.
Lynching. I said segregation. A white person had their own water fountain. A black person had theirs. They were equal. It's the same water fountain, but you have to go to yours and you have to say yours.
You're turning this sport argument. You're turning the sport argument into a social experiment.
I wasn't trying to turn it into a social experiment. I was trying to back up my views.
I don't think there's a professional male athlete in the NFL that would be comfortable laying out a female.
What now again?
I mean,
do I want to see a little girl get smashed by a big dude? No, that's not what
you're asking for, though.
But that is what she was trained to do. If she's a professional athlete, a professional football player, and she had to try out to get on that team. She had to make the cut, just like the rest of them.
What you're arguing for is different, though. What you're arguing for is different. Am I for women? If women,
I'm not arguing for anything. I'm just saying
you are. You're arguing your point.
A great idea, but yes, women should be paid the same as men.
I agree.
We're going to keep the sports separate.
I agree. My original
I would love
argument.
to see we just have sports. We have baseball, soccer, football. Everybody gets to watch the same thing.
I want to see Ronda Rousey beat the fuck out of Conor McGregor.
Same.
That's not possible.
I think it would be.
Conor McGregor was
Either way, it would be.
It'd be a great fight to watch, wouldn't it?
No, you just want to see it with a 38-year-old boy.
No, I just want to see that guy go, oh fuck!
Right?
Once he come at him.
Now, maybe with the current champion they have, because she's a boxing beast, maybe that. I'll give you that, because there are certain.
That's a bad bitch right there.
She's very tough, and I will say, this all started with me wanting women be paid the same as men, and it became women. Everybody should be the same. So here's my thing. I think if you ask a women's soccer player, Caitlin, if you ask a women's soccer player that's played on 4 World Cup teams, if somebody's done that, if they want to be on a men's team, they'll tell you no. They're very proud to be a woman on a woman's team.
I'm glad for them.
But you want that line blurred, right? You want that taken away.
I played a plain, basketball. I played with other females. We had a women's team. We were great. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
But you want that taken away.
I don't want that. I'm not trying to take anything away from anyone. I don't want to take their sense of, pride from them. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I would love us to just everyone, like you've met me, I love everybody. There's not a mean bone in my being.
We're saying,
I think that everybody should be like that, and everyone should be created equal. If you want to keep them separate, and that's what the women want, then by all means, keep them separate. Right. I think it would be cool to have everybody play together. I think that I love playing co-ed dodgeball. I was on a co-ed swim team. I like hanging out with dudes.
It's the chair.
Like this right now, I enjoy this. I like hanging out with guys, and I like going to intermix with them and being able to play sports with them, and them looking at me and respecting me equally enough that they will let me do that. So to each their own.
Okay.
But that's my view.
So your view is well accepted. We appreciate your view. My point is what we like to do on the show is we like to keep it very specific to the topic at hand, because we could obviously roll on into a lot of long distance pulling in from other things to make our points. And what I like to do is the question at hand was, should U.S. women's soccer be paid the same as men? I agree that they should. You don't care, so it doesn't matter. You agree that should, you agree they should, and you agree they should. So that answers that question, yes. If we get into a topic of male and female sports and genderism in sports and all of this stuff, then we'll go into that deeper. But I like to stay on point, because what we do is when we start going into the history of life and gender and race and segregation, we open up doors to all kinds of other conversations, and we need to stay kind of on the path. So we'll go into that sometime. We'll have Caitlin come back on, and we'll have a nice long conversation about equality in sports, which will be interesting. So
there's a point.
What?
At the bottom there.
Poor man.
They generate more revenue.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna move on from that. That is true. Men's sports generate more revenue. It's kind of
Dodgeball.
somebody just giving an argument for
cheerleading.
But the point is,
collegiate cheerleaders. So.
the point is yes, there are women's men's sports on average generate more money, but I'm more talking about a sport that has a proven track record of being champions.
And most
Just
men's
like-
sports have been around way longer than the women's
Well,
side of it.
and
They've
the
got
other
a
thing
bigger
is, like, for
following
example, we
already.
talk about women in fighting. We talk about women in MMA. Ronda Rousey was, at the time when she boxed, when she played, when she fought, she was the highest paid fighter in the UFC. It wasn't because she was a woman, and it wasn't
fucking good.
It was because she generated large numbers at the gate. And when they asked her about it, because she was like, they asked her about, other fighters like Floyd Mayweather making her money, and even Ronda Rousey said, look, if I bring in the numbers that Floyd Mayweather brings in, then I should make the money that Floyd Mayweather brings in.
Absolutely.
And she said, I'm very comfortable what I'm making. I'm the highest paid athlete in this sport. I have nothing negative to say about it. I come from that where I believe for example, I believe that women fighters in MMA are amazing. I think I prefer, like, that fight they just had with Joanna and
fucking
like
head, bro.
well, but that fight,
Megamind.
It was
that
an
5-round
amazing fight.
fight, it was one of the best fights ever in any
Joe
of the
Rogan
sports.
said it might have been the greatest title fight in UFC.
Yeah, it was crazy good, and that didn't. You forgot for a minute that there was a gender.
Right.
I did.
You just saw a fight.
I knew they were women, but I also knew those are legitimate fighters. So you took the gender out of it, and so if they didn't make as much, and they were the co-main event, and I would say, like in the UFC, and not boxing yet, but the UFC, one thing that Dana White did, Dana White took those lines of gender and broke them down, because he went from, in 2004, he said there would never be any female fighters.
Thank you.
He said that in the UFC. And then shortly thereafter, I think it was 2004, it might have been before that, shortly thereafter, all of a sudden Ronda Rousey and everybody else started coming out.
WEC started a women's division, I think.
Yeah, and so what
They
you
bought
started to see
WEC.
was there was a viable market for it. And I would think on the whole, anybody that's a true fight fan, when women fight, it's a very popular side of the sport. And there is a certain grace and beauty that men don't have, that women do have. And it has nothing to do with the fact that the fighting aspect of it has to do with the fact that, look, I'm a legitimate fight fan, so I'm a fight fan first, but I also like seeing women get it on in the ring. It's amazing.
There's also a large chunk watching for a wardrobe malfunction.
Well, no, it's not even wardrobe, man. It's just amazing to see finely tuned athletes going at it with each other. And if it's women, then it's women. But I'm just saying those women get down and go nuts, man. I'm just saying. All right, so let's move on. On a good note, without going into it too deeply, Harvey Weinstein got 23 years. I think it's 23 years too little, and
Fuck him.
he should have gotten life or
He can
death.
kill himself, though.
Not yet. Not yet. But he will kill himself. He's killed himself.
You see
He's
what
about to be
that fucker started
suicided.
doing? He started walking
Heart
around with a
attack?
walker.
Oh, he's done yet.
So it's to be like, I'm old and I don't
Yeah.
deserve to be treated.
So,
Fucking.
but he's done. His dynasty's over. No one's going to remember him as a filmmaker. They're going to remember him as a pedophile and a rapist.
Yeah.
So,
Dope.
thank you. We know that. And we've tried. Trust me, we've tried. We've had a couple on and a couple of guys
went
on.
south.
Well, no, DeMondre did really good.
I forgot about DeMondre.
DeMondre was really good.
on the show.
Okay, so you know what? Just said somebody brought up the fact that we needed to have some color on the show. It wasn't what I said; it's what somebody else said, and I agree. We
Yeah.
want to have everyone on the show. We've had
Yeah,
one
get out
guest on, DeMondre, who was intelligent, well spoken, and had great points of view, and we loved having him on. I've tried a couple other times to get people of color on the show because I love the point of view, and they never follow through. So
They either flaked out or fucked off.
yeah, either one. So I will say to anybody of color, women, man, anything, I would love to have you on. This is an open forum for everybody. It's open. I just need you need to stay with your commitment and say if you're going to come, you're going to come. Anyway,
Problem getting guys on the show anyway.
well, new guests.
Yeah.
We've got some pretty consistency with you guys.
That's true.
But all right, so now we're going to talk about something off of that before we go into all the wackiness that's on the news. By the way, you're watching Session Stream live from Shaker's Bar, downtown Cape. We do this every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. And I'm happy to have Caitlin on the show with us today to give us a very strong female perspective, because we like female perspective because men are dumb sometimes.
Hey, share the feed.
True.
Corey says he thinks he'd be a worthy contributor.
I believe he would
Yeah.
too. Yeah, share the feed, guys. If you're watching, it's your first time watching, or if it's your second or third or fourth time, if you watched every time, we need you guys to share the feed, and then everybody else can watch and take part of the show, because this
Start a
really
watch
is a
party.
Yeah. Well, start a watch party. Yeah, that's a good point. And
I've
then
got
also
one going right now.
Also,
My watch party.
Also, it allows us to have the show be more full, because the guests are actually watching your comments. This is the only show like this where the guests watch your comments and we actually respond to them at some time. The really good ones. So the randomness we don't respond to, but if you are responding with some good comments, we'll put you on. So, next thing I want to talk about is, have you guys ever heard about the meat shower of 1876?
The meat shower?
Yeah.
No,
Sounds like something happened in a prison.
is this? Are we,
that like
are we on
girls
mass
getting
hysteria
the hot
now?
dogs?
I'm pretty sure I
This
saw this
whole
on
show is
Housewives
kind of a
Club,
mass
and-
hysteria.
I've got lots of historical
in
points.
Kentucky, in western Kentucky, there was in 1876 there was a meat shower. Literally at this certain time of the day, it was a rain, but it was slivers of meat.
Like spaghetti, like it's raining spaghetti and meatballs?
It was it was like
Cloudy with a chance.
carry
Cloudy
on.
with a
It was
chance of
like
meatballs,
carry
that's what
on.
it was.
It was like carry on. So what they hypothesized, what they kind of guessed it was Kentucky's home to vultures. They have a large population of vultures, and they believed it was vultures puking.
Oh, have you ever smelled that stuff?
Yeah, it's horrendous.
Oh, God.
So the puking death, and so they believed it was vultures, like a flock of vultures, kind of flying over, and they all puked at the same time.
Translations will put it back where it came from.
But what happened is during this meat shower, there were people that could tell it was meat, and they started cooking it and tasting it in 1876. Well, meat was not, you couldn't go to the store and buy meat very much. So here's meat falling from the sky. So you can imagine some guy out in western Kentucky, which is like kind of Appalachia.
It fell down
It's
in
kind
a
of like
still.
Appalachia. Yeah, it's like Appalachia, but it's not. But it's backwoods, some of it. You imagine they probably were like, oh, good Lord, is this meat falling from the God bless, the Lord has blessed us today.
If it was vultures puking, I highly doubt that's what they were saying.
Paddle faster.
I don't know.
That stuff is awful.
They cooked it. They cooked
awful.
it. You know, back then smells were kind of an everyday part of life.
That's
so
true.
people kind of used to it. So, but here's the tricky part.
I've worked the door to
So
bar,
there was
smells
one
are still a part of everyday life.
there was a writer and a scientist that he wanted to know about this meat shower. So he went there and he went to this old museum and he found an old jar full of what supposedly was from the meat shower. So he wanted to find out what it tasted like.
Sounds like a horror movie.
I know it does, but this is true. He wanted to find out what it tasted like. He wanted to see what it tasted like. So he actually took the jar of meat and took it to a lab, and he had
1876?
no. This is no modern day time. This is modern day. This guy took it to a lab, and it was a lab that did taste-alike jelly beans. So they could take smells and odors and things, and they
I
could
played that game with the jelly beans.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
he had them made into jelly beans, which they were like red. They were like ruby red, and they tasted like uncooked bacon. That's what the jelly beans tasted like. So let me ask you this: you've played that Guess It jelly bean game? What is that called?
Bean Boozled.
Bean Boozled. So if you're a parent, you know what Bean Boozled is. If you're not a parent, Bean Boozled is this company that makes Jelly Bellies, and they put it in a box, and they put these random flavors all scattered together.
Vomit and sweat socks.
Vomit, sweat socks, trash, grass, toothpaste, just terrible,
Earwax.
nasty stuff. And then you gamble on it. Isn't there a wheel you spin or something?
Yes.
Yeah, and you gamble on it. So if you come up with like 3-day-old trash in the sun,
They give you get two beans.
Right.
One is the original Jelly Belly flavor, like the green apple or the popcorn or whatever. And then the other one is the nasty flavor, but they look identical. So you pick. It's luck of the draw. You don't know if you're getting tutti frutti or if you're getting puke.
Okay.
Are they prepackaged like together and you just got to figure it out?
Yeah, they're all in a bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, the ones that look like are together.
Yeah, it's like birdie
It's
box.
really, you can't even like smell it. And
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say because like if they're all just like.
No, it's not in a big bag. They're
Okay.
separated
Oh, it's
by
horrendous.
color.
Okay, good
It's
deal.
horrendous.
Yeah, they're separated by color.
It's
and you-
terrible.
That's messed up.
My girls asked for that on Christmas, and I knew what it was, and then they got it from one of my parents, one of my in-laws, I think, and I was irritated because I knew I'd have to play with them.
Yeah, they totally got it from Harry Potter, though. That is
You've been
just
sitting here
seriously,
20 minutes, literally.
For any of the nerds in the audience watching,
Can you get me a scotch?
it's Birdie Bots, every flavor beans. That's every bag. They're mixed up. You can't tell what you're getting. Dumbledore ate an earwax.
By the way, these are available at Shakers. These are, well, they've been available.
I've been waiting forever.
We haven't hyped them up, but these are actually available. These are, I guess you could say, brass or whatever, copper. They're beaten copper, and then you can get our draft with it. So,
Do I have to get a draft in it?
You can get a
Can I get my
Moscow Mule
D&P
in
in there? My Dr. Pepper?
I mean, you can. It's an insulated cup.
Oh, nice.
It's just more
Insulated?
expensive.
That's okay.
It is insulated, yes.
So if I wanted my Dr. Pepper, because I don't drink, but if I ordered a Dr. Pepper, how
I've
much
seen you
would it
drink a
cost?
PBR.
But I never finish it.
Oh, you never drink
You
that much.
see me order a PBR.
Do you order
I walk
PBR because
around
you think
with
you
one.
have to?
No, I collect the bottle caps.
Oh, you do?
On the bottom of the bottle caps.
What are the bottle
there's,
caps for?
They're playing cards. Each one has a card on it. So I'm trying to collect a full
Just
deck.
PBR?
Just PBR.
Oh.
Yeah. Just the bottles.
Yeah,
so yeah, that's why I always ask for my cap at the bar. And
Isn't
I
that
would
a game
carry it
that
around
they
and look
play?
really cool like a hipster with my leather jacket. And everyone's gonna be like, oh, look at that cool girl in her PBR.
You know what? No, let me. I gotta call it. I gotta
I'm
call
trying to
it.
get a full deck.
I gotta call you at something. You're not pretending. You are who you are.
That's true.
You are not a hipster. You're not pretending.
I create the trends.
Caitlin, you are yourself.
Thank you.
Like her wearing this
I don't try at all.
hair. This is Caitlin. She has several different wigs and she wears them well.
I want to play a game. I want to play golf.
Oh, I bet you want to play a game.
With the bottle caps.
Yes,
That'd be fun.
Oh, that's
I'm so
what I
glad you're not
thought.
wearing those
We could play poker or
glasses when you said
something.
that.
Have you put them in your hand?
He wore these pedophile glasses, which were his dad's old glasses. I know.
Look, I know my dad was 20 years older than my mom, but fuck.
We talked about this already, and I said, "Did it mind you? Did you mind it?" And you said no. So
No, I'm just fucking with you, Eric. What is
I
it
know.
about attacking people's dads today, man?
who's on that?
I'm pretty sure my dad was watching earlier.
Was he?
Oh, Donnie Boss.
Oh,
My
he-
volume is down because I'm in the room full of people. But
Fluctuating
based on the
temperature.
comments, I feel like I should say "Go women." Donnie Boss says "Go women."
I don't see
Yeah.
this coming.
I'm gonna say.
I'm good with go women too. I don't think anybody would say not go women.
Hi, Nicole.
I just don't women getting. I don't want women getting smashed
Oh
on
my gosh,
a
Elena
football
Borgfield
field.
is watching you guys.
Who's Elena?
Elena Borgfield, she's the owner and operator
I
of
know
the hair
Elena.
shop. Do you know Elena?
I know that name.
Elena Borgfield.
Elena, do you know me? I know you, Elena, from
Elena, if you
somewhere.
know Eric, message
Elena
me.
Borgfield. I know you from somewhere. Anyway.
She's a really talented hairdresser. She owns her own shop out in Oak
Yeah, I know the
Ridge.
name. I know the name. Elena. Oh, I do know Elena Borgfield. I do know you, Elena. I did her wedding.
Eric?
No, I did her wedding. I was her DJ.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that is really
Someone
cool. It was at the
suggested-
Casey Hall.
Someone suggested I become a wedding DJ.
I think
the
you'd be
other
really
day.
good.
Would I?
Yeah.
I would love it. I think I would. I
You should.
would do
I'm
that.
going to be bringing him with me on a couple. You should come with me. Train you.
Don't play.
Train
Don't play,
me.
boy.
All right. Yeah, I do some side
with love.
I do some side hustle with
Everyone
Diamond
has
Sound.
side hustles.
Yeah.
Yes.
My
shout
side
out.
hustle is
Shout
going to be
out.
taking bets on how long their weddings will last.
Yes.
You mean they're married?
No, what's cool? No,
Wedding,
what's
yeah,
funny is-
I don't know. I've never
Wedding
seen it
shoes.
after a wedding.
No,
You know what-
it depends on where you're going.
You didn't know what? You know what's funny is every reception I've ever been to in 14 years that I've done it. I literally, when I meet the couple, and then after I've met a few people, like mom and dad and stuff, I go back up there and start picking songs, and I'm blowing myself, 5 years at the most.
Yeah, I want to make it a tradition, right? All these different cultures have wedding traditions where like Jewish people they raise up the bride and groom on the stairs and they like
I had a
dance
wedding watch
around and
party
stuff.
of, like,
I
20
think there should be a new tradition. I think that we should all
know if
bet
this-
on
I don't
whether or
know
not
if
they're
I
going to
can
get
charge you here or
divorced
not.
and what the situation's going to
Where's
be
your phone?
and
Is it an
whatnot, and
Yeah.
then the winner
It's a lightning.
obviously
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
a certain cut.
Thank you.
I don't know how much I charge.
It would be like a Deadpool, but like a
Okay.
divorce
Yeah,
pool.
if yours starts to blink or
Like,
get
I
low.
prefer
let me know.
Deadpool.
Oh, I'm good.
You should get to kill him.
Well, that could be like
My
a
phone
that
was only with my watch
the
party.
Mary
My phone
Jens is
just
that
died. I
some
don't
of
know
the guys
how that
early.
affects Facebook.
We're gonna get it.
No way.
We're gonna get it back up. All right,
Come back.
let's move on now.
Yes.
Let's move on to the next one.
I think that's
You are a mom. I have 4 children. 2 are grown, and then 2 are at home. So we're going to throw this in there real quick since we're talking about issues of social importance. Discipline of a child.
Yes.
What is acceptable? Not what you think is, but what in your home is acceptable.
I think it depends on the kid a lot.
What do you mean?
How many kids do you have?
I only have the one. I just have Jasper, and this is why I'm not going to be a lot of help to you guys. I have been a full-time nanny. I have worked at a daycare center.
No, but you can have an opinion on this, obviously.
I definitely do. But I'm going to be talking about my kid. My kid is a rare child.
So you mean depending on the child based on
their behavior, how well what they respond to.
Okay.
Is your approach you should take.
Okay.
My son, you can look at him wrong, and he knows he's stepped out of line, and he will stop.
And do you mind saying what your child's name is?
My son is Jasper.
Jasper Robert. Jasper's not watching.
No, he should be in bed.
That's good.
He should be in bed.
But someday he'll watch and see his mom on here.
Yeah.
What's up, Jasper?
He wants to be a YouTuber.
Hey, you told me that. He said he's 9. Is he 8 or 9?
He just turned 9.
Just turned 9.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Turned 9.
You're gonna learn all about that. I'll have to learn you on that.
I don't really have to, dude. Down.
My daughter go to bed at 9.
Yes, he's got to be in bed no later than 9.
They're saying they go to bed at 9. Weird. It's not weird.
Yeah,
you just grew up with no structure.
You had no parents.
Well, you didn't. You grew up in foster care, dude. I mean,
he's got a bedtime.
Sorry, you're a Annie.
Push it. Sometimes he's up a little later.
I prefer to be called Bruce.
It's a hard knock life for you.
Yeah, the rich bald dude didn't come save him.
Right?
How do you know? Here I am.
Yeah, Daddy
I'm not rich, but I'm a bald dude.
Oh, my
I'll call you, Daddy.
But no, seriously, like, Jasper.
This is where it goes downhill.
Daddy.
Thank you guys so much for having me on. I really
It's like, I'll see you later.
he was gonna have to keep me on topic. That happened.
Hey, he hasn't started talking out of his ass yet.
Like I was saying, my son Jasper is incredibly well behaved. I'm not saying this is why I'm his mother, that I'm biased or anything. This is what everyone else tells me. He is the worst for me.
Yeah.
And it only takes me going, dude. And that's it.
Do you worry that he's going to become a sociopath?
Well, what my approach was when he was a child, no.
Seriously?
Not even a little bit.
I worried that one of mine did.
No, he is the most empathetic child on earth. Like, he loves everyone.
Oh, that's cool.
He feels everyone else's feelings around him, and he's always been.
Now, does that worry you? Does that worry you?
A little bit, because I think that his feelings are going to be hurt quite frequently. Because people can be really mean.
But you'd rather him be that way than,
yes, I would rather him have a wonderful, full heart and
I got you.
love and light.
I think that's a mom. In general, I think that's a mom thing because my mom raised me that way, and I had to kind of become a man on my own.
Yeah.
Which
No, he's got a dad who was a football player, a wrestler.
Okay, cool.
He's got a strong.
Then he's got that.
Oh yeah, his dad was nicknamed Moose growing up.
Moose?
Yeah, his mom knows the measurements of his neck and his thighs and all
so
that.
your ex is a big guy.
He's a big guy. Yeah, Jasper's going to be a good-sized human.
Okay.
Much like Monroe here, and all the men at the table.
Monroe's human?
He might be. Yeah, he will be taller than all three of you.
What you trying to say? When did he become human? Is Monroe's human?
Always.
No, backing up. We're getting off topic.
Take your face off.
And here's how I got him to do that. I will tell you my tips and tricks of momming here.
Okay.
So when Jasper was little, I like to watch Super Nanny. She's a firm believer in the timeouts.
I hate that show.
I know, right? It's awful.
I hate her. I don't hate her.
No, I
shouldn't say hate. I don't hate anybody.
When Jasper was little, I'm talking like a very small, 18 months. Before he was 2.
Right.
If he stepped out of line, I said, Jasper, that is a no-no. We don't do that. Very firmly, lower than my normal voice, and put my finger and pointed at him and said, we don't do that. If he did it again, I said, you're going to timeout. I put him in timeout for 1 minute for every year he was alive. That's it. So he's 2 years old. He's got to sit on the stairs for 2 minutes. No talking, no crying, no noise. You make a peep, I start the clock again.
Okay,
he sat in timeout 3 times his whole life. My kid's 9 years old, only been in trouble 3 times his whole life. I get positive office referrals from the principal talking about what a good example to the other children.
You don't know about that, do you?
Pets, he's not going to slaughter animals.
That's the thing they do nowadays. It's called good job, kids. Keep it up.
He's a great kid. But
you don't know about that because you're a shit.
I never got one of those either.
Shit bag.
The Attaboys.
Shit, dude, if he had parents, his fucking landlord would
No, listen. The truth is,
he paid his rent.
A small adult.
Fuck,
so you talk to him that way.
Yes, I've always talked to him like an adult, never used the baby voice.
Right.
He's treated as an equal from the moment of birth in my house.
The reason I wanted to
how we roll.
The reason I wanted to bring this up is I'm a very involved parent with my daughters, and being a dad that believes in teaching daughters about strength and love, and then also about tenderness from a man. I wanted to bring this up just real quick to let you know, because you are a strong woman.
Thank you.
Nicole.
Because I have a strong mother to look up to.
Okay. Nicole, that we're talking about.
She's really strong.
Nicole's a strong woman. My mom was a strong woman. My wife's a strong woman. So we have a lot of strong women in the world. And the reason I brought it up about kids is I think we need a really good balance, and it sounds like that's what you're trying to reach with your kids. That's why my daughters, I think, are doing really well in school, and they're well adjusted. They are a little sheltered because we keep them away from stupidity, and I'm fine with that.
Oh, I can't. My son loves it.
But I think you're right. I think discipline is based on your child, and it's also based on your personal ethics and values.
I don't like being yelled at. You can yell at me, and I will instantly start crying. Have since I was 2 years old.
I remember that. When I yelled at you at the DJ booth.
When I was little, and my mom was like, "Caitlin, I told you to pick up the eggs," and I just boo-hooed.
I saw the look on your face, like the disappointment on your face.
The U.S. soccer president has just resigned.
Good.
Hell yeah.
Good. He should.
Changing the world.
Was that because of us? We did that.
One session at a time, guys.
We did that. So you heard it here first. Sessions just made the U.S. soccer president resign.
Remember when we shot on him for like a whole 45 minutes?
It was like 20 minutes. There you go. Right there. Time one. Because the women aren't getting paid right.
That's right.
Pay them right. Maybe you want to resign, you pig. I hope it's a dude. Because if it's a girl, I'm going to feel real shitty.
Carlos Cadell.
It's a dude. Okay, good.
How dare you?
It's a dude from Europe too. You know, I'm just going to say this, to be honest. Since nobody's traveling from Europe and I don't have to worry about getting attacked, European men in general, there's a different philosophy with men and women over there. A lot of societies, men value themselves more than women. And I think that sometimes when you have an international president of USA Soccer, I think what you've got is you've got a philosophy and a moral and a value of where men are valued more than women, and I think it's terrible. So good thing you resigned. You should have been fired. Now let's move on. Let's get the women.
That reminds me, Eric.
That's the thing.
Well, USA Soccer,
What would
the board
you
itself.
tell your daughters if they said, "Hey, Dad, I'm going to go out for the guys' football team"?
I would not want them to go out for football.
I don't want my son to go out for football either because it's dangerous.
That's the only reason.
I've
already told
But what if
Lily.
they said, "I understand that. I'm ready for it. I want to do this"? Would you?
Well, then they would have to take some rough hits from me first.
Oh, that would be so funny.
Yeah. If they can take it from me, no, I'm serious. If they can take it from Dad, they can take the little stuff I'm going to do with
I've
them.
seen your
daughters in the ER. How did this happen? Dad tackled me.
Okay, first off, your daughters are too young, so maybe when they're in high school, but you should find an equal their age group. You can take a hit from.
It was second and 3. I hit the
I'm going to get them harder, but just like my daughters ask me all the time, because I used to train MMA guys and boxers, they ask me all the time, "Daddy, you teach someone." As soon as I start showing them stuff, they're like, "Stop!" So it
goes back to we smack our hands and go, "We don't hit."
So moving on, Zach. So we're gonna bring you into this real quick. We're gonna go on to the big stuff now.
Oh, the big shit. Share the feed.
The mass hysteria. This is when you need to be watching and tuning in because
Comment as well.
Please comment.
Yeah,
Don't leave me alone up here, guys.
It's going to be kind of wacky right now because we're going to start be talking about stuff that you guys are all listening and talking about, but we're going to talk about it in a very my thing went out, so you're probably going to lose your.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's dead. So.
Your thing?
My charger is dead.
Oh.
So I don't know how much charge you got, but.
Not much.
Okay.
Does it not have a cord? Did you plug in the wall?
A plug?
Yeah, like.
I've got it going too.
This is a USB.
Do you want me to get you a block so you can plug it into the wall so it doesn't die?
If you want. It's
I'll
up to
be
you.
right back. I will do that for you.
So you're watching Session Stream Live from Shaker's Bar downtown Cape. While you're up there, you want to get me PBR draft?
Of course.
Thank you, bartender.
What are you going to be paying me for that then?
My thanks and admiration. Not
You
just
let me
the tip.
work here.
Just not just the tip.
Do you hear me? I do that every time I tell them to.
You are working here. You're working here more and more. So, all right.
Thank you.
That's all right. Nice drop there. We got PBR on tap now, guys.
This is
Yeah,
my home.
PBR on tap now. All right. So, Jack, shouldn't we just close our borders like Trump just did? Shouldn't we just leave them closed for a while until we are sure that we are happy with the way things are going? Because our health standards are much higher than most other places.
Yes.
You agree?
Hands down.
Just keep them shut. How long, in your opinion, how long should we keep the borders shut, regardless of Trump? How long should we keep them shut?
Let's do a 6-month overhaul.
So explain the 6 month overall.
So my theory on this is if we take a solid sixer, all right, and we focus on our nation's health.
Okay.
You know, keep the borders down. No one's in.
Get our preparation up for
Obviously,
for this type of thing.
If this is a so-called pandemic,
right,
then we need to be prepared tenfold.
Okay.
It's not going to be done in 30 days. We will not be prepared in a 30-day time slot. My 30-day time that's Trump's way of saying, hey, 30 days, we're shut down. It needs to be longer.
That's like a catch our breath time.
Yeah.
So, and it's also a response to the international community because Europe is doing it and Germany. So here's the deal. The reason I asked that, Zach, I basically knew where you were at.
Yeah, of course.
But I wanted you to pipe in first because when I throw this next part out, I want these guys to jump in too. Okay, what I want to first say is, and this is going to be controversial to start out with, and I know who you're voting for, so I want you to respond based on. No, but I know where your mind is at with it, and that's fine. That's why I want you to kind of jump in next. Is, do you think that the border being closed to other countries right now is good?
Yes.
Okay. Should it have been done sooner?
Yes.
Okay. If that's true, then why was Trump so criticized when he tried to close the borders on our southern border with who he claimed and who a lot of people in the international community claimed we needed to have control of our border because of disease and because of gangs coming in. Now, there were some decent people seeking help, but how do you figure that out without closing the border?
Well, at least from my perspective of how it was taken, it seemed to be that everybody else, and it wasn't just the Democrats that felt this way, it was also people on the Republican side, felt that he was being a tad bit racist when he said that he was going to close just the southern border. If that's the case, and if that was the reason that he was going to close it was because of, like, you know, I can understand for like cartel reasons because they're classified as a terrorist group.
But let me ask you this.
Well, let me finish, because like we should also close Canada for the same reason. There's a lot more drug trafficking coming from Canada as well, when it comes to prescription drugs that are, you know,
but I think people are okay with that.
People are okay with that, but why are they okay with that and not other things? It's like, legalize it.
Yeah, it's raining, folks.
Okay, so without getting into a wormhole.
But all I'm saying is that people took that to be a more racist thing. This is a matter of public health. Like, this is a global pandemic, and it seems like every other country in the world has acknowledged it, except for Trump wanted to ignore it for 2 fucking months, it seems like. So, it just I don't know.
I think the block's dead. Maybe the block's dead, I don't know.
Maybe it needs to
charge
charging itself.
No, that's what it's doing, but it's not charging. Usually it'll be lines. Anyway, let me go back to what you said. First of all, it's not racism. It's not racist.
But it was taken that way by a lot of people.
Yeah, but let's clear that up. It's not racist. Right, you know that it's not racist.
No, I'm just saying, I agree with you. Okay. But what I'm saying is that's how it was taken. And so there's it was
used that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was.
That was a manipulation.
Sure.
Because it was political, right?
100%. This is not a political issue.
I don't think. Well, this is.
It's a matter of public health.
It's a matter of public health. But here's my thing, right? So if we're closing the borders, and we should have done it sooner, right? Because you're talking about public health. Do you not think that there were some diseases coming through the southern border?
I'm sure there were.
Okay.
But they weren't on this scale.
No, obviously not. This is a much bigger scale.
It's a way bigger scale.
So my whole thing about this is, first of all, your whole point is well taken. Like, and what he said is well taken. I don't know about 6 months, but I think we need to have a longer period than 30 days to reset. But the problem with that is, and this is what I'll ask you and everybody else.
Leave them closed.
Here's my thing. Why hasn't anything been done before?
Well, why is this? They tried to do something in the 14 with the
There's been no budget done. Like, this should have been a permanent fix.
Yeah.
Like, pandemic.
We should have a protocol.
Yeah, there's no protocol.
Obama had one.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He did.
It's not permanent. But it's not permanent.
How do you have a protocol for an unknown illness that can't be treated?
He had a CDC liaison that was in-house, in the White House, to prepare for this.
So what protocol did he establish?
Well, hold on, I'm getting there.
But this is the first time we've seen COVID-19. Like, how do we have a protocol for it?
I know, our CDC needs to be on top of it. We need to be.
But we've seen a lot of other illnesses, maybe not similar to this one, but
well, I mean, the closest thing to this one would actually be the flu, but no one gives a shit about the flu.
Think about the first time the flu was around, though.
There's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it can get.
is this disease that different from any other disease that's hit before?
Okay, this is virus.
The
That's
main-
the virus.
main
But
concern really
But I mean, it
is
affects the very old and very young.
It's not, yeah, it's not,
so here's
it's not
the
about keeping
compromise.
yourself.
Right.
It's not about keeping yourself safe and you healthy. It's about who you come in contact every day. I see, 30 plus salon people, and they see 200 people a month sit in their chair. They have babies come in, small children, people on chemo like I was. And if this virus would have happened 3 years ago when I was going through treatment, and one of you guys had it, even though you didn't were symptomatic yet,
Right.
or you didn't think you were that bad, it's just a cold, and you came to visit me in the hospital, you would have killed me. I would be dead. So
I don't know why I'm not more concerned about
You
it.
should be more
So the whole point,
concerned.
hold on.
Like,
The
if
whole
you
point to this
compromise
was,
people,
because we're now,
some of us
we're
stay
into
a
the
little bit.
deeper part of it. So the whole point to this is, I'm going to hold you to this.
Yeah.
Obama did not establish a protocol that was long-lasting. There was no establishment by the CDC or the United States government to combat anything like
I don't know what the
this.
deal
No,
is.
but he did have a liaison in-house to prepare for.
I'm saying our mics sound warped.
And then Trump got rid of him.
Trump didn't get rid of any. Trump didn't get rid of anybody.
Yeah, he did.
No, the problem is before. This is not just Trump, man. That's what I'm saying. You're doing exactly what the media is doing. This is not just Trump. Long before Trump, all the way back to Clinton, when we dealt with bird flu and we dealt with other pandemics that came to our shores, right? No president prior to Trump was ever said, you didn't do enough, establish guidelines for the CDC, this and this and this. Now the CDC has guidelines, but the United States government had no budgetary consideration ongoing for something that pops up. This is something that each president's undertaken individually, like, oh, here's this. What the whole point of this is and what Trump is doing now, Trump is trying to establish a ongoing, long-term protocol that will be followed by this country for any kind of pandemic consideration.
He's going to rip apart your source.
It has not ever been done before. And the thing about this is, are you listening? Because this is important for you. What's important to know about this is to put all this in Trump's lap, like he did this and he did that, is not only wrong, but it's putting too much on Trump, saying he has all this authority and power. The problem with that is I hold every president before him responsible. I hold every president responsible. He's also responsible in his own way now that he's in, but no wanting him to somehow fix everything about this pandemic stuff when it could have been fixed before. All they had to do was establish a protocol that when there is some declaration of a pandemic by the CDC or there's this type of an infection or a virus, this is how we respond. Now we do have some responses that we have, but as far as financial response, we need to have a worst case scenario response, and it has not been done. And they're wanting Trump to fix it all in his 3.5 years that he's been in office. And that's what I'm saying. This is my problem with this is if we're going to be real and we're going to be honest, let's be real and be honest. We're not going to put it all in Trump's lap. I'm sorry, I don't give a crap if I voted for Trump or not. To put it all in his lap is saying you're giving him way too much authority and say-so over all of this.
Is it the president, though?
Let me see it.
But what about before? This is what I'm saying. Nobody wants to talk about the presidents before.
Well, yeah, but we haven't.
Where was Obama when H1N1 and avian bird flu and, well, that was avian, and Ebola? Where was he on that? Because what happened was he closed ports of entry. Do you guys remember that? Yeah. Obama closed ports of entry. Nobody gave a shit. They loved that. My whole point to this is no president established an ongoing protocol for a pandemic response. So where is everybody's outcry over that?
Well, there's no one response.
There is.
You should have a pandemic.
You should have an emergency response.
I've all seen Rick. We should have an emergency thing set in place.
You need to have an emergency protocol once the CDC. Yeah, once the CDC advises us and says, "Hey, this is what's happening."
Yeah.
Then we should have an automatic funding meeting that says this money is available every year,
Agreed.
all the time.
100%. And we had a response team until 2018.
We did not have a financial response. There was no financial response.
Well, the CDC still has budget that is allotted.
The CDC is not governed by us. The CDC
Center for Disease Control.
They're not governed by the United States. They're an independent
Really?
body.
Well, we still give
They
them
can't be governed by anybody. They're an independent
We still have
organization.
funding for them that we
Well, every nation that is in the free world gives the CDC money,
and the World Health Organization as well. But
and that
what
is
I'm
not.
saying
That's
is-
also not governed by us.
okay. According to PolitiFact and also Snopes.com.
Snopes.
I know you don't like Snopes.
Snopes.
It's not that I don't like Snopes.
That's not
Snopes has
credible.
been.
All I'm saying is that
It's not at all. It's not.
where Mike Bloomberg criticized Donald Trump, saying that he canceled or he fired the U.S. pandemic response team in 2018, and it's all his fault.
Why do you think he fired him?
I think he fired that. Well, I don't think he fired them. I think that he just didn't replace them in his administration.
But why do you think that was? Why do you think that Trump?
He's trying to cut costs.
He's trying to cut
Budgetary
costs.
reasons.
So he wanted people to be sick and get hurt.
No, he just didn't think that we're going to have a pandemic. But that's the thing is you don't know when they're going to happen.
No, I think
you probably have that insurance.
I think he didn't replace him because I think strategically he thought it was a waste of money because what have they done up to this point?
Oh, good. Yeah, now we need them and they're not fucking here.
But we needed what? We needed them before and they didn't do shit. That's the point. They didn't do shit before.
Here's an interesting part. All right. When you look
Don't
at
tell me it's Snopes because I'm not.
let me talk.
reputable.
Let me talk. So when you read Snopes flat says fired. Let me talk.
You're talking. I'm just laughing at your sourcing.
Well, come on. I've literally told him to change the source.
Okay, all right.
All right. Now, that being said, here it puts fired in quotes and states maybe a little strong, but in 2018, top national security officials.
It's 2018, you said?
2018.
Okay.
Top national security officials handling pandemics left abruptly and were not replaced by the Trump administration.
So they left abruptly.
And it says fired.
Yes.
So maybe Trump just wasn't responsive to things they were saying. So maybe it was Trump was not listening to things they were saying, which there may be something.
Trump's not listening? That doesn't sound right.
There may be something on Trump about that where he wasn't listening. Trump has been criticized, and rightfully so, that he doesn't listen.
Trump has ideals. They're fantastic ideals. A lot of people have heard them.
They're the biggest ideals you've ever heard.
But my thing is, maybe in that case, that we don't know, but maybe in that case, Trump wasn't listening, and he should have listened. And that is a problem with Trump. The whole point of this is, what we need to realize is, let's get off Trump, let's get off presidents, let's get off all that.
It's the Joe Rogan show.
Let's get off. Let's
I don't want to get off anybody.
let's get on to what this really means for all of us.
They should get me off.
So that's going to move us to our next thing. The facts and myths of the Wuhan virus. Now, we're going to call it Wuhan virus because
Just call it COVID-19.
I will call it COVID-19.
China is trying to change the narrative, and I'm not going to let China do it. So it's Wuhan. You can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it Wuhan.
Before we get into all that, can we I want to state the definition of mass hysteria first.
Okay.
I feel like that should be thrown out.
I wanted to call a lot of
before we have a discussion about
so
it.
before you do it, hold on.
Okay.
So everything we've been talking about tonight is about mass hysteria, right? And we're going to connect all the dots for you guys and let you guys know why this mass hysteria is important to know. So Caitlin's going to define mass hysteria, so we kind of have a starting point of realism and fact, and then we'll build from there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so mass hysteria is defined as, in sociology and physiology, also known as mass psychogenic illness, collective hysteria, group hysteria, or collective obsessional behavior. Is a phenomenon that transmits collective illusions of threats, whether real or imaginary, through a population and society as a result of rumors and fear.
There you go. All right.
So,
I'm being told our mics are a little too hot.
I got a lot of that.
We've had people say that. I don't know, man.
Check.
Maybe it's like the boom. Do we have booms on all of them?
I don't.
I don't know. We just talk a little lighter, maybe.
We get a little.
We get a little emotional.
Get a little
Yeah.
hot.
Let me pull it down a little bit.
Gets
'cause
heated.
The last time we did that, I pulled it down.
I did say I was up for a
Yeah.
heated debate tonight.
I don't think it's
so-
your mic, probably. I think you're probably okay.
Good,
You
good.
put a nice tone and everything.
I try to
We
keep
just
a
get
very
excited.
level
It's all that bass in the voice.
level
So,
voice.
we're going to go to the mass hysteria section of our night, and you're watching Session Stream Live from Shaker's Bar downtown. Kate, my guests here are Caitlin, Chris, Brandon, and Zach. And we are now into our mass hysteria section. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is because that is what is happening, and this is what's happening at this table, is
Mass hysteria, dogs and cats living together.
We are going by opinions and rumors and happenstance and talk, and therein lies the rub.
Yes, the media
Matt
is
Lawler.
blowing this shit out of proportion.
So
They are.
We should have Lawler on this one.
I hope you guys bought TP
Oh my
earlier.
God.
Hope you're not out of toilet paper.
So, folks, why is this mass hysteria? Right.
Send toilet paper to Shakers.
So mass hysteria is what we are allowing the media and our politicians, and let's face it, we listen selfishly. We want to hear what we want to hear, and then we want to think and listen to what we want to think and listen to. So what I want to say is this, is the same reason we vote for a certain person, right? Same reason we want to vote for somebody, or the same reason we go to a certain bar or a certain restaurant. There are certain things about those things that we like selfishly for our own reasons. So in other words, if you vote for someone, there's certain things that they've said or you believe that they're going to do that line up with what you want. It's a selfish thing, right? Sure. Even if it's about what's best for my family, that's still selfish because you're thinking about yourself as a unit as opposed to society as a whole. That's what voting is. So mass hysteria is our collective wackiness when it comes to things that we think are going to happen or are happening. Now, first of all, this Wuhan virus, the COVID-19 or coronavirus, whatever you want to call it, Corona
Light,
whatever you want to call it, this is a mass hysteria event. And the reason it's a mass hysteria event is we are allowing the media in all of their tricks and sleight of hand to get us all going, Trump, past presidents, and this is, and what we need to do is we need to take a breath.
Wash our fucking hands is what we need to do.
We need to take
cover
a
our
breath.
mouths when we cough with our elbow.
We need to realize that we live every day with more stuff around us than you can actually ever imagine. And for somebody that, and Zach too, somebody that's dealing with medical issues on an ongoing basis, I don't know how you feel about COVID. I know that you say you don't give a crap, but you're dealing with something far worse than COVID.
It's actually funny. I literally I just messaged Lauren. I'm like, because with our little banter we had here, it dawned on me like I actually should be concerned about it.
You really should.
And
I was the same way when I was sick. I wasn't concerned about getting sick.
Do you think you're not concerned more because of what you're dealing with is such a high level of worry and concern? You're like this stuff here is like BS.
I literally was the same way.
I think that has to be how I'm seeing this because, I mean, all right, so if I wasn't dealing with anything and I had my normal immune system back, then sure. But I mean, like, I got dropped bad earlier in the week or last week.
Yeah.
You know, I got sick. I was out of Shakers for a minute. You know, like I mean, I don't ever get sick. Well, never.
Yeah, you don't ever get sick until you get cancer.
I know that's when you're attracted to me and you back off.
I mean, it really sucks.
I was a little close.
Completely healthy. And
Sweetie pie.
I was the same way you were when I was going through my treatment. I did not wear gloves or a mask like I was supposed to.
Yeah.
I went to the movie theater. There were, 100 people in that thing. I had no idea what illnesses they had, and any one of them could have sneezed or coughed, and I could have died. I actually ran into my nurse watching a movie, and she said, "Where's your mask?" That was the first thing she said was, "Where's your mask?"
Can you scoot into the table a little?
Me?
Yeah, we're not seeing you.
Yeah, you're entirely.
Get over there, Chris. Chris just takes up so much space.
I smell clean. I know you're uncomfortable with
good?
clean.
Am I good now?
I don't know. Are you?
I'm almost sharing Chris's chair. I'm practically in his lap.
You're good.
Okay.
We want to be able to. I want to be able to see your face when you're talking.
Pliskin, also cool last name.
Right?
Oh, that's
Caitlin's
like a
right.
villain or
Sandy
a hero.
Like Snake Pliskin from
Choose the real quote to humanity. I don't think I ever said any of that. I'm really confused.
What?
Nick said Caitlin's right. Sandy Hook was a hoax, and the Jews are the real global threat to humanity. I didn't say any of that.
What's funny, what you're going to find out if you're on the show more, is some of our followers, some of the people that follow, they will make comments because they know Brandon or Zach, and they just say random
crap. I was here.
I do not condone any of what Nick
Pliskin
said. I didn't say any of that.
I don't think Nick actually
but he might be right on
was
some
a
of
myth
it.
or
I also want to talk
Do you
about
believe that?
The moon
San Diego was made up?
Yeah, the moon landing.
We're gonna do another conspiracy show.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna bring
do
up
another
a point later
conspiracy show.
called Last Thursdayism for you folks.
So we're already aware of this.
So
Yeah,
let's be very clear. None of us are saying that this is a hoax.
This is not a hoax.
No,
I'm
it's not.
saying
It's
this
not.
was a
It's
fancy attempt at
it's a
population
legit
control that
threat.
got out of hand.
I think that's
I'm just
well
wondering if
along
Tom
the
Hanks is
line
going
of
to hang out
what
with
it
Wilson
is.
again while he's quarantined.
Okay,
for 2 weeks.
I want to know
We
what
are.
lab this illness came out of. I
It
want
was
to
in
know
Wuhan. It
was
I want
in
to know who
Wuhan,
manufactured it.
Well,
Okay.
the Chinese.
So
Was
let's.
it manufactured though?
Was
'Cause
it?
That's the plot
Okay.
of a Dean Koontz book.
Okay,
That was
so-
published in
God,
1981.
hold on,
I
let's-
saw that.
Okay.
Now Caitlin's denying the Holocaust.
All right.
Oh God.
Let's calm the chatter for a minute. All right. So Wuhan province in China, guys can look it up when you do your geography or whatever. But Wuhan province, and this is part of the problem with China and why so many things are coming out of China. China is vastly overpopulated. That's bottom line.
That's true.
They released
used
their
to-
population
yeah,
and-
they like kill like baby girls are used to.
And
because-
they
That's true.
That's true,
And
historically
part of the
accurate.
overpopulation problem is they have these open air markets
I don't think they
where
kill
you
baby
have
girls.
thousands of
Sharks,
people
maybe.
scattered in with
Fin.
animals, right?
Fin soup.
And it's been proven that anytime that animals that are dead are in a close proximity to humans, a lot of disease happens because you have waste, you don't have proper sanitation, you have the
It's the
exchange of
perfect
fluids.
environment for that stuff to
It
run
is.
rampant
I mean,
and
That's
hop
what the
from
whole
person
plot
to
of the
person.
movie Contagion is about. Is
Or
that it came
Outbreak.
from that situation, right?
Right.
Like pretty much any of
So the
those.
reason that most of the
Oh my God! You guys didn't bring us any?
the reason well, there's only like a couple left.
Oh, there's a couple of us at the
There's
table.
a reason.
Because you stopped buying, you stopped buying them for the bar, didn't you? Stopped buying them for the bar because you thought the virus came from those.
Chris,
didn't
you want
The re-
to celebrate?
The reason
coronavirus?
that
We'll go do
the
it.
reason
All right, Corona
that
party, guys. I'm gonna
China
do it in
has
person.
a
I'll
lot
step
of
up
stuff
to
comes
it.
from China, and the reason that we're dealing with China on such a mass scale is first of all, China has positioned themselves as the global trading partner for so many places.
That's true. They are
So
kind of a century.
yeah, so China in the last 30 years has become this world dominator in trade. They've actually surpassed us in trade. And the reason is because they do cheap labor, they overwork their people, they have work slaves in these.
They ran right
huge-
past us in sweatshops too. They got
Well, no, we don't have
horrible-
sweatshops here, and that's the thing is we have workers that want to be paid, and they have insurance and unions. And in China, you don't have that. The unions in China actually are meant to keep the workers down. They're run by the government. That's what communism is all about. So, I understand the Corona play here, guys, but I really don't get it because Corona has nothing to do with coronavirus.
No, it's just
I
the
really
RNA.
don't know why it's called coronavirus.
I
Does
don't
anybody
either.
know that?
I don't. Let's
There's a
Google it.
conspiracy with
find
Anheuser-Busch.
We all have the internet in our pockets these days. It's 2020. It's the future. We're living in it.
I hope your internet lasts
Google.
because you don't have much probably.
I have about 10%.
Oh, you're good. All right. So is that 10% iPhone 10%? Because that means 1 or 0.
Yeah, exactly.
The iPhone. You know they just got sued and they won the lawsuit.
Yeah, and
on-
everybody-
on cutting the batteries back on
Yeah.
apps when you do your updates on iPhone. The iPhone updates were zapping your battery, so you'd have to buy a new iPhone. Pricks,
Yeah,
man.
and apparently the
Don't
payout
have to
is
worry about
the
that.
payout's
I know you
$20
don't.
a phone.
I know.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Freak. It's like almost
That
like it's almost like a
covers
slap.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like here's 20. You can't afford shit with that.
But hey,
Can I get a carton of
Apple
cigarettes
can
then?
get fined $20 an iPhone that was
Thank
affected.
you.
Your hair is down.
You're
Look how
an
pretty you
angel.
are. No, show your
She is
face.
so, yeah, please
It's
come and say
Bailey.
hello.
Come here, Bailey.
Oh, I'm good.
Bailey.
She,
Her hair is down.
she's really pretty.
bartending.
Her hair's down. It's wavy.
It looks
Please
so
come
pretty.
and
Your
get
hair
a
looks
drink
nice.
from
So
her.
let's go ahead and do this
Oh,
now.
yes. Product placement.
in.
Labels out.
You notice I'm the only one drinking PBR. I'm the true American.
And you will
bunch
see
of
that I'm going
foreign
to sip
bastards.
this the whole
You bunch
time
of
and never really
imports.
drink it.
Hey, you wanted to close the border for
It's
this shit.
terrible.
I really
It's not
prefer
a good.
Guinness.
Wait, no.
I've
it's
never
not a
had
good beer.
Corona before. It's not a good beer.
I know there
agree.
are people that drink this and they like
really?
it. I don't know if they drink it. Look, you're not going to drink it, are you?
It's garbage.
I know.
It's
I
terrible.
know. You know
It's
why?
terrible.
Did you ever see that comedian that talked about how they make Corona beer? That there's like 4 or 5 Mexican guys down by a river filling up bottles with piss, going,
Guinness.
"I give you some Corona. Here you go, Americans.
Why do they
Here's
sound
some
Russian?
Corona for you."
Dude,
Yeah.
I love your accent.
Russian.
You like that one? That was a pretty good one.
those
actually.
Russian Mexicans?
Fuck you, Chris. So,
That's
Caitlin,
a
you don't
good
know this because you've never watched the show before today.
Never.
Ever.
Never. Every Thursday in my bed, I watch Shakers. I watch
Oh, you're in bed?
if
Right.
I'm not,
We're in bed with Caitlin.
okay, I want you
I feel
guys
much
to,
better.
you
There
guys
we
need to
go.
know this.
True American Guinness.
It's not American at all.
It's American as PBR.
If I'm not,
Italians built this country. Thank you very
At
much.
least mine wasn't a participation
I
medal.
said Italians and it's Irish. He didn't say shit.
So mad.
He didn't say shit. I said Italians
I see-
and it's Irish.
Listen, I see-
Irish and Italians built this country.
I see that he's
Germans.
starting to beat up a little bit of sweat. He might have that COVID.
I'm gonna love on him if he does.
Oh, fuck you.
Speaking of loving on people, we're gonna go on a ghost hunt. I know Caitlin's excited as can be.
Zach about to get the cheek clapped by a ghost.
So April 25th, we are going to do some live feeds. Caitlin's
gonna be so
excited.
scared, but I can't
She's
wait.
so
I'm gonna
excited.
pee.
So Caitlin's a vessel. She's an empath. So Caitlin's going to be
I wouldn't
into.
go that. I wouldn't say I'm that.
That's why I brought you on this.
But,
Don't
I am sensitive.
undersell yourself.
I am very sensitive to energy, to the feelings of
Okay.
other things.
They're going to take a
I'm
backdoor
not.
path for
I will
Zach.
say this to you.
People tend to feel more. Things tend to happen more often when
I
I'm
want
around.
to say something, and this
That's
is
all I'm
a
gonna
purely
say.
selfish, terrible motive, but I'm going to tell you why both of you are going on the trip.
Which me and him are.
Besides, I love you. I love
who's
you.
gonna die
No, wait.
first?
No. I love you.
Still got to find a black guy.
But it's common knowledge in the ghost world
Terrified.
that
Oh, you
people,
sick fuck!
that people are dealing with like end-of-life
Illnesses,
experiences
We're-
are more in touch with dead.
I'm like a fucking
Dude,
cat.
okay,
I'm half in,
okay.
half
You know, you're like a battery for
Eric,
ghosts.
we had a
There's a
really
reason
long talk
Constantine
a
went to
while
the Catholic
back
high
about
school
this
to help.
stuff.
Okay.
So I used to say that I was haunted. I grew up in the same. I've always seen things or felt things and I've always sworn that whatever house I was living in is haunted. And it wasn't until my mom moved out and I think I was getting a new place of our like where I grew up at.
Can everybody hear
And
her?
I can move my mic
Yeah,
up.
move your mic up on your collar.
Yeah, it was. That's
You're
where
the softest
it was.
one.
It was there earlier, and I moved it down
Yeah,
because I didn't want to be
yeah,
too loud. Is
there
this
you go.
is this better?
Of course,
Check
he definitely
check
will
one
sit over
check one two
She's
check
like,
one two.
That bad.
Is this better?
This
Is this better?
Talk
Can
to
you
your
hear me?
chest.
If my boobs were bigger, I could put my lipstick on with
Caitlin,
them.
you have this awkward sexiness about you. You really do.
I'm so awkward.
You have the sexiness that the girl in Pulp Fiction that was
You're like
robbing
a-
the diner.
You're
You
like
have
a
that
yeah.
sexiness.
Boma.
Caitlin, you're
Honey
the
bunny?
lesbian of the
Honey
voice from
bunny?
the movie Her.
Calm down, honey bunny.
Oh, that is Scarlett
Scarlett
Johansson.
Fell in
The
love with the
second
machine.
time I've been
Hey,
compared to her
if it
tonight.
sounded like Caitlin in my mind.
It's Machina. It's El Machina.
Ooh, I'm loving this.
Damn it.
Keep it coming. Keep it
Is
coming.
that like Al Pacino?
Okay, let's get back to the point. So, no,
Is Kathy Griffin wearing a wig?
She is not Kathy Griffin.
I am
Kathy
much
Griffin is
prettier
not-
than Kathy
is
Griffin.
not pretty and
If
awesome
anyone-
and sexy.
if anything, I'm Fran Drescher.
Snake,
Mr. Sheffield.
Snake Plissken.
No, stop
No,
it.
that
Get
was
out of
Tim
here.
Godwin.
Tim Godwin.
Tim Godwin. I love that guy.
Listen, I tried to get Tim on here one time, and
Fuck
he was
Tim.
so irritated about our. We
Tim
did that-
Goodlove?
remember-
Is that who you're talking
Tim
about?
Godlove.
Tim Goodlove, yeah.
Good love.
Good love, yeah.
God love.
That 40
Oh,
love,
kind of
that's
like
good
Colt
love.
Bueller? It's actually Colt
It's
Bueller.
Bueller.
I know it is.
So
but
listen,
Tim fucks with his name all the time.
So he was in here
he's
one
now Tim
night, and he
Goodlove.
was talking about. I said we were talking about the show, and Tim,
Saw, Tim.
Tim
Saw,
was
dude.
watching the show one night. We were talking about why people cheat, right? And Tim got irritated.
they're
about the show.
bored.
He's like, people have their
It's
own
'cause they're
reasons.
bored.
So I said, why don't you come on the show? And he was like, I don't know.
Defend
I'll
them.
probably just piss you guys off.
Fuck it. Ed, on the show.
I've been
seriously.
cheated
I
on.
need that quirkiness.
I was cheated on
Tonight's
through
episode is sponsored
chemo.
by High
My boyfriend, I was.
Wait.
Wait is correct.
what?
The guy I was seeing while I was sick cheated on me
While you were going through
I
chemo.
was in the hospital getting chemo. And I'm the dumbass that kept dating him until I was a year in remission.
You're not a dumbass.
Went through his phone.
You were going through chemo, and you were hoping. to
Yeah,
have
I was
somebody
hoping that he
with
actually
you.
gave a shit and meant what he
So
said.
when did you find out he was cheating?
I found out a couple of times through our relationship. He was still talking to exes and things, still messaging them. He claimed that he had put that behind him.
Oh my God.
And then a year later, we're still together, coming up on 2 years anniversary.
name?
His name is. I can't say it.
Do it
If you know
No,
me,
we'll
you know
call
who
you
it
out.
is.
No,
Oh, we
we'll
are
call
calling people
out
all the
there.
time.
We're calling him out.
I really don't. I don't like to do it, but he knows what he did. It's
We got
Jared
these hands
Lorenz.
for free 99.
Jared Lorenz. He knows
Jared
who he
Lorenz?
is. Yeah, he's.
Wait, I think I know Jared.
I brought him in here several times. I
Jared, you cheated on her through chemo?
I thought he was a really good dude.
That's
He
almost-
seems.
that's almost bad.
Everyone told me what a great guy he was, so I never wanted to believe it. I thought he always told me the truth. I was sadly mistaken, but.
What is it about when people
I
get
hope he
sick
gets
and
COVID.
they fucking leave you?
I hope he gets COVID.
no, he didn't leave me
Yeah,
when I
like
got
that.
sick. We were not officially
say it.
together when I got
I know we're all
sick. We
friends
were
on
just
Facebook,
seeing
but
each other at the time.
She couldn't take
I
it.
was
I get
hyped
it,
up
but she
on
couldn't
the
take it.
I get
pain
it, but don't say you
medicine
can.
and asked
Yeah,
him
don't
through
say you
text
can.
to be my boyfriend.
Jared
We've been
went
seeing each other for about
Pillsbury
3 months.
So you're like
Just
casually
past
dating
last
at
few years
first?
ago?
Yes, not casually.
The
I was
hefty
there
lesson?
every night.
But
I spent all my time with him. We were
you
together. We were together, but we weren't official. We weren't Facebook
So
official.
you were still technically.
Yeah, we were dating, but I made the mistake of asking him while on the Dilaudid from all the pain, and I was on a lot of medication, to be my boyfriend via text. And he didn't want to be the asshole that told the girl that he's been seeing for 3 months, who's about to die,
So wait a
that
minute.
that he doesn't actually like me that
So
much.
he played it off for 2 years.
For 2 years, told me he loved me, wanted to be with me, wanted to, keep my family with me. Devastated me and my son.
I
My
know.
son and I were very heartbroken
Thought he
over
was a
it.
nice guy.
But so did I. So did I. He looks like a nice
maybe
guy.
he is a nice guy. He's just terrible at
he-
relationships.
Yeah, he really is.
You know,
And he likes to
He's
blame it on the
actually- I
girls.
think
He
I
likes to
know
say
him.
that we're crazy.
He's actually a nice guy, but
He's-
he just
So he
maybe
likes
not
to
very cool in
gaslight? Is that what you're saying?
What?
Oh, he's a gaslighter.
But yeah.
No,
but,
what you just
but
said.
anyways,
What you-
I
yeah.
found out the last time I'd been in remission for about a year. We had broken up the first time I found out he was cheating on me still with an ex from high school that we made fun of together. I would like Ashley to know that he used to make fun of you while we were dating. He used to call.
Let me tell you.
But
Let me tell you.
that's
Hold
fucked
on.
up.
Let me straighten something out for you so you understand guys a little bit. Okay.
They're messed up.
Well, they are, but guys will say what they think they need to say to
Yeah,
make somebody
exactly.
happy.
He didn't want to hurt me.
I know, but
he didn't want to hurt me.
Like,
Quote
you haven't
unquote.
done
He was
it.
trying
Everybody's
to.
done
He was
that.
trying to. He was trying to protect
Moral
my
of the story,
feelings,
he's a
or
terrible
so he
person.
thought.
Yeah.
But what he was really doing was keeping me hopeful and stringing me along
That's fucked up.
for months. Because like I said, we broke up when I found out he was texting his
It
ex.
is messed up.
And he went to Eminence for the weekend to spend some time with our friends. And
Eminence.
I had to go
What do
to
you
a
do at
work
Eminence?
conference. You fucking kayak, you go to the bar, you go on side-by-side rides, you ride mules. Like, you have a best fucking time of your life in Eminence.
And
If you haven't been to
relax,
Eminence,
you
if you
know.
haven't, go check it out. I mean,
Eminence is
it is fucking popping
Okay.
with hillbillies, and it is the best time you'll ever have.
Popping with hillbillies.
Popping with
Okay.
hillbillies. And they are the
Rednecks.
best
Sounds
people.
like the kind
They're
of
all
stuff like
wonderful.
down, down,
Ron,
down,
I
down.
hate people.
Ron McQuarrie, I love you. Angie, I love you.
You go to
Audrey
Eminence,
Needles,
what
I
you
love
do?
you. I love all y'all. Johnson's Mules, you're amazing. But Jared can fuck
I
right
cannot
off.
bring
Johnson's
myself.
He is
Sounds
not a
like
good dude
Jared.
like you think he is. But anyways, so I kept on. I held on, man. I
What'd you
loved
do?
him. I
You
held
just
on.
did that.
I did this.
You
I
literally
did this.
did
I did
that.
everything I could.
She literally did
Everything I could.
That was awesome.
Spent every dollar.
I can't believe you didn't catch it.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, right. Show's over.
I'm checking out. See you later.
We're done. But no, I kept holding on. He went to
bet you
Eminence
did.
with his buddy, one of his guy friends. They were just going to go have a good time, have a guys' weekend. Turns out one of our friends from Eminence brought her friend for him. And so when I got home from my conference, we both got home. I went to his
Eminence sounds like a
apartment.
bunch of cheaters go there.
I stayed at his apartment that night. He's rubbing my back, asking me to go to bed with him, asking me to go have sex and all this stuff.
While you're going through chemo?
sexting the other lady.
Wait, but while you're going through
Same
chemo?
time. Hey, baby, let's go to bed. Haven't you missed me?
So jealous.
Oh my God, I forgot. I think I left my boots in your bed. In the bed of my truck or under my bed in my house. Like, you should be here right now.
Gross.
Like, blah, blah. So I threw his dick while he was asleep I threw his phone while he was asleep on the couch.
Wait, did you
Directly
say
at his
that?
dick. I did. I should have.
Sorry.
He's got an excerpt.
I have an excerpt to read about this.
We have coverage.
Behind-
I'll tell you what it is afterwards.
Behind an Eminence front, it's a put on. It's an Eminence front. It's an Eminence front. It's a put on. An Eminence front.
Oh, stop it.
Eminence.
You're quoting fucking song lyrics.
Come and join the party, dressed to kill. Won't you come and join the party, dressed to kill? Drinks flow.
Super creative.
It's so
lyrics.
People
true.
forget. The big wheel spins. The hair thins. People forget they're hiding.
What are we doing?
The news slows. People forget.
Is this over soon?
Their shares crash. Hopes are dashed. People forget they're hiding.
So basically, what you were living out was Eminence Front by The Who.
Oh, nice. Nice shout out.
Yes, and
You guys are
Spoken word, spoken like
been
poetry.
over here for like
Spoken
5
word.
minutes. We're like,
We should do a slam poem. Let's do a slam poem.
You're like, I gotta find something with eminence in it.
It wouldn't be
take a
sessions
trip,
if we didn't
man.
have song lyrics.
It is like a 2.5, 3 hour drive to get there. You got to go through some backwoods, but
You
find
love
somebody with. I
Driving is
do.
imminent.
The people are so full of life and they're so welcoming.
Okay. Cool.
It broke my heart to know that those people knew what was going on and encouraged it. I hope none of them are watching, and if they
Eminence
are.
Front.
I hope that I hope you know I still love you.
Why you always
but
fronting?
not him.
Yeah.
I ran into him the other night. I won't tell you where, but I saw him the other night and made him feel real awkward. It was not here.
Okay, so-
he knows better.
So
This is my bar.
So going back to what we started with,
He won't
which
come
is
in here
our
when I'm
ghost
working.
hunt.
I have a question. Do you think
Ghost hunt.
April 20th.
Ghost hunt.
did he slide into some DMs with some Astroglide?
This dude is
He slid into all kinds of
savage
DMs,
right now.
and it wasn't mine.
Jesus.
That's what I was asking. When you found
Yeah.
out, did you look?
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it bad?
No,
So-
I did. It was. It hurt. But
April 25th.
But I can't wait to see some fucking
25th.
ghosts.
Snake
I'm gonna bust them.
killing you, bro.
I'm gonna bust these ghosts, y'all.
Can we have a show or?
Yeah, I'm
We
talking
can just
ghosts.
turn shit off and just let you guys have a conversation.
Are
Jesus.
the people involved in the conversation? Because I mean, technically, that's part of the show.
No, that's.
You said
fine
you get
and
off
well
on
and
tangents.
Good, yeah.
At least it's
So-
not about penis.
So,
Give it time.
well, no, I've just never had anybody go talk about an ex that much. That's just a lot. Like,
I didn't want to.
You
I
just
didn't
got
want to have
blown
to,
up.
but you made
I'd like
me.
really shortened.
I would like to point out, I did not
FDB.
want to say his name. They made me do it.
So we
calling
are
people out.
April 25th. I want everybody to know because there's some new people to the stream. April 25th, we're going to Ashmore Estates in Illinois, and we're going to a ghost hunt. And Caitlin, Zach, and
Next
Lauren,
comment.
and
It's true.
me, we're all going to an overnight stay at Ashmore, and we are doing a ghost hunt. And
We're
we
gonna
are
stick sage in our asses.
No, we're gonna
we
bust them.
are going
You said
to
Ashmore, not Ashmore.
make contact with a ghost or two, hopefully.
Bringing
There's
my
a ghost there
proton pack?
named Mary, who I'm going to try to put you in contact with. We're going to put you in the room where Mary
Is she
hangs
ter-
out.
oh, okay, who
She
is
did-
Mary?
So Mary
Tell me
was
about Mary.
supposedly
Quite contrary.
Mary was supposedly a cook in the place or a caregiver,
She's
right?
not Typhoid Mary, is she?
so
'Cause
so you know about Ashmore. Ashmore
she
was
didn't wash
a
her hands.
poor farm for a while, and then it
Mm-hmm.
was like I guess you'd call it a poor hospital for people with mental disorders. So they would drop people off there and they would get help. So there was a
So Mary's-
Mary
Mary's,
that lived in Ashmore at some point, and there's a room that she was in quite a bit, and there's a window that supposedly at Ashmore, when you put something in the window, she likes to have a view
Oh, yeah.
to watch.
Yeah, she'll knock the stuff out of the
Because the kids used to
window.
play outside, so I guess Mary used to like to watch kids outside. She doesn't like anything in the window, so I'm going to put you in the room with something in the window, and you're going to be by yourself in the room.
You're gonna leave me alone?
Yeah.
Oh my
you
god!
have a camera
I
with
didn't.
you.
That's not a person.
Oh,
Can you put me with Zach?
It's like the herd.
Zach can't fit in the room, I don't think.
So I'm also
I think
claustrophobic.
we'll all go in the room.
Okay,
actually.
good. Just leave me with a partner. Leave me alone.
So we're going to go back to mass hysteria now, peoples. But before we do mass hysteria, let's do
Oh,
our
Regina's
call-outs.
watching. I
Let's
love
do our
her.
call-outs.
Well, wait. I
Love
feel
you,
like
Regina.
we need to talk about the comment.
Wish
that
you were here. I need a lady
this
partner.
setup.
Well, we're
These
going
men are
to.
too
We're going
much.
to. We're going to build it.
Damn.
Overpowering.
So tonight, today,
In a
at
good
some
way.
point during the day, as often happens, we are all on social media all day long, and we do have message streams through the bar and through sessions, and we do have certain things that come up. At some point during the day, there was a topic that came up on. Actually, it was through Brandon.
Yeah, my post.
It was through your post, and then Zach responded. So what I'm going to do is,
your shit was hilarious.
I'm going to let you guys actually read back what happened.
Oh, there went my phone. My phone's dead. Oh, Henry.
So I'm going to give you about 10
That
minutes.
thing's plugged into.
About 10 minutes to go ahead and pull that up. So let me preface this by saying, we're going to do a call out on someone because someone became violent and angry on this. It wasn't anybody here at this table, but I like the way Brandon checked him and the way that you addressed him. And then I had some private conversations I will
There's no one
follow
over
up
here?
your story with. But we're going to call him out, and we're going to let you guys kind of bring it up and show what happened. And this is all about the coronavirus and the COVID and the Wuhan. It all started with that, and then you can hear kind of how it went, and we're going to bring it up.
That
Now,
took 107 comments.
Oh fuck. Yeah.
so here's what happened. So
It doesn't matter. Though.
I'm going to preface this by saying this guy got violent. He threatened some violence against Zach and against the bar here. So he swore to me that he wouldn't do anything, but I will tell you, and I told him this, if you'd like to come down and have a conversation, we are here. None of us are scared. None of us are bothered by your
We ain't scared.
threats. Well, no, we're not. He threatened Zach directly that he would punch him in the mouth.
Literally found my picture,
Yeah.
took a screen cap of it, and said,
Yeah.
"I've got your face."
So
It was a very unflattering picture.
I've
but I
got
know
your-
it was a
Yeah,
joke
well, that's all.
I've
he
got
doesn't
your
have any
face.
flattering
Just
pictures.
change the tone.
He doesn't
I've
have
got
any
your
flattering.
face.
The guy has no flattering
The
pictures.
picture that you took, though, was dope.
I loved last
As
night's
if
with
you
the
were making
orange,
fun of
though.
people
Your
with,
hair
like,
is all
fucking-
sticking up.
with-
So I will say this before you guys finish, before we get
sure.
done, that this individual, I'm not even going to say his name, I'm going to let you guys do that.
Sure.
But this
Do we
individual, if
want
you
to?
are watching
Do we
the,
even want to give him that much? We can make fun
Let
of
him talk.
Let the man
you
talk.
can or cannot say his name. I don't care.
Okay.
We don't have to give him any credence whatsoever. That's fine. He'll know exactly who we're talking about, so maybe that's enough. Maybe not giving him anything, but I will say this. If you guys want to, that's fine, but I will say this to the individual if they happen to be watching, and I hope someone is saying that they're watching. I will say to you that we are all grown folks down here. Ain't nobody scared of any comments that you made. I came to you as a grown-up and as a business owner and said to you some things about you got to let stuff go and get over stuff. And I even expressed to you, I even said, Zach says things that he thinks. Sometimes he says shit that's stupid because Zach says what he wants to say. But you got to let that stuff go. And he talked about, you're not old school, trying to call me out that I'm not old school because I am friends with you. And my whole thing to that is no, old school understands when you fight and when you don't fight. You pick and choose your fight.
That's what I kept trying to
Pick your
explain.
battles,
Smart
buddy.
about when
Pick
you
your
fight.
battles.
You don't just call out when somebody says
Is
something you
this
don't
the
like.
hill you want to die on?
And that's
Right.
the thing. So I'm going ahead and turn it over.
I'm going to let you give the premise, and then
Yeah.
this
Oh, fair enough.
this needs to be read because that leads into the Willie situation.
Oh, yeah. Is this...
Who's Willie?
Okay. All right.
So
That's
we'll
fair
start with Brandon. Brandon's going to give you his thread and what he started with, and then we'll let you guys kind of go through it. So go ahead.
Okay, so
I missed
basically,
this. I mean,
I listened to the most recent episode of the Joe Rogan podcast. He had a CDC official, I think, or a researcher, I can't remember, on his latest episode, and it was talking about this new virus or whatever. And so I said, after listening to
the Wuhan virus?
Wuhan or
I'm gonna say
COVID and Cambria
COVID and Cambria virus.
Yes.
No, but yeah,
That's way better.
After that, he does kind of look like a virus if you think about
Right?
it, right?
But that's a freaking amazing band.
But,
yeah, it is. Their
but
music
anyway,
is so good.
After
It's so
listening to it,
good.
and if you haven't heard it, I would suggest listening to it because it covers.
The Joe Rogan thing?
on Joe
Yeah, that
Rogan.
was a good. That was a
It
good
was
one.
really good. I made a post on Facebook. It said, "I think it's time to take coronavirus seriously." Just me at
That was the whole
10,
comment?
13 p.m.
Wait, that's all you
That's
said?
all I put.
That's it.
That's it?
Oh, so it was PM, so that was from the day before.
Yeah, it was
But it all
Oh.
started this morning when I commented.
That's right. Okay, all right.
That was it.
So what was Zach's
Okay,
comment?
got 20 likes on Facebook. No big deal. I'm like, oh, it didn't blow up. No problem.
Just you being you, basically.
Zach, my
Nice.
first commenter, said no.
Period. No, period.
Meaning Zach is not
Zach
taking
himself,
this shit
he will not
serious.
take it
Doesn't take it
seriously.
seriously.
And he
And
can do
I'm
that
kind
because
of with
he's risked,
Zach on it. Like I'm aware of it. I'm alert to it.
Of course.
I'm leery, but I'm not taking it super
Also,
serious.
at this time, when
I take it as
posted
serious as
this,
the regular
I had
flu.
just
Wash
read-
your hands,
Yeah.
cover your mouth when you
Yeah,
cough.
yeah.
Of course.
Zach, you
Don't
I
touch
just
your
read
face.
At 10:13 p.m. that Tom Hanks, America's sweetheart.
I don't like Tom.
Dude, I lost in the salon.
That volleyball
No, I was so terrified.
I whatever he's
going
gonna hang out with Wilson while he's in quarantine.
I don't like
Woody.
Tom.
That's part of my childhood.
That gave him a fucking volleyball.
He posed with it.
And he put it on his Instagram. He's like,
Stay focused, guys.
Wilson.
Stay focused.
He's nobody but his characters.
No,
Go ahead.
yeah.
anyway,
Mr. Rogers.
as a reply, I go ahead and I post Forrest Gump going,
Yeah.
as if goodbye, I'm dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
yeah.
started this thing where Zach was talking about
I can picture it in my
Okay,
head.
so let
Came
Zach
at the door.
Zach
So-
put his in.
So Zach is obviously said some funny shit after this GIF, and I'm gonna let him do a dramatic reading.
So,
Dramatic interpretation.
well,
DI.
first off, we need to read
Austin,
Yeah.
thank you for posting because that was some informative shit,
I can't
Yeah.
see the feed.
and it was helpful.
So Austin ended up
frustrating.
posting. He's like,
Well, they do
a
this
friend of
when I go
ours
charge my
apparently has
phone.
a longtime family friend who is Trump's Florida chief of staff and the state director of some sorts, and basically told us they're preparing to debate two options very soon, either doing a 3-week or as long as a 2-month quarantine across the entire country to attempt to shut the virus down or avoid quarantining at all costs and risk spread and chances in the nature of the virus becoming incredibly worse. So that's the takeaway there. At which point, me being me, I put, so the takeaway here is we have one person inciting panic by claiming presidential staff leaked info. We have one person We have to go back.
Yes, because it did skip this. So our dear friend Willie, of course, he argued that because his dad...
It's funny how ignorant a vast majority of the population is to compare this to the flu. There is no goddamn motherfucking vaccine, antidote, or medicine for this shit, and it's killing the elderly. He goes on to explain that, his dad has passed, his mom's dying, or was it vice versa?
It was his mom's passed.
His mom's
now, 2 years ago tomorrow, and then in full credit to his story, his dad has COPD.
COPD.
Which
fully
sucks.
treatable condition.
Well, it's not fully treatable. At some point, it's really shitty. It is very shitty. I'm not trying to weigh on you, but I'm saying
no. I get that. But
I get where the
COPD
dude's
is,
mind is at, but at the
Sure.
same time, you can't respond with violence. Go ahead, Zach. I'm sorry.
So, but have it known though, COPD is actually, not. I said fully preemptively.
If it's caught early enough.
Correct.
But if you are 70-something years old
Right.
and you're in the advanced stages of it, you're done.
You're
man.
fucked.
Yeah, you're screwed.
All right. Now we have no clue how old this man is. Nothing along that line.
We do now.
We have nothing to go on.
At this point, no. Right.
All right. So I put, so the takeaways: we got one person inciting panic by claiming presidential staff leaked info. We have one person afraid of a father's death from complications of theoretical sickness enhancing his COPD, because it's if my dad got corona,
That's true.
got COVID, got Wuhan,
We also have a couple of people commenting random statistics all throughout this.
Of course. And a bunch of erroneous statistics.
And that's where mass hysteria comes in.
Yeah, because everybody hears everything and they go like, oh, well, I saw it. Or
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
So
exactly.
ultimately, Tom Hanks has coronavirus, and it's funny because it is in fact Philadelphia too. AIDS is never enough.
Oh my God.
Which was probably
I
the
forgot.
funniest shit I've ever heard.
I forgot
at
about
fucking
that.
midnight
Philadelphia 2 coronavirus.
And this is
AIDS is never enough.
AIDS is never enough.
Also,
Oh
this is
my
some shit. When I'm
God.
reading this at like midnight, right? I fucking was
Somebody
drunk
tag Joe Rogan on
coming
this shit.
after drinking here and doing fucking karaoke. So I'm
Wait, you
reading
drink
this.
here?
I drank here last night. Yeah, of course I was here.
By the
All my
way,
money goes to you.
by
damn
the
it.
way, your version of "Hurt" was phenomenal, dude.
Well, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Johnny Cash was you sounded great, dude, for
I
real.
appreciate that. But the point is, I came home drunk and saw that comment and fucking died over fucking Philadelphia 2. And I hope that he's gonna make it if he
AIDS
survives
is never
coronavirus.
enough.
AIDS is never enough.
You know they've cured the second person from AIDS.
I heard
Did
that.
you see
Well,
that?
HIV, but yeah.
Yeah, but
So,
that's
yeah.
amazing.
Brendan posts a little kid who's like, I like turtles.
Yeah, because I'm trying to break up.
I like
course.
turtles.
You know?
So I'm
I
like,
like turtles.
Basically, Brandon
this-
liked turtles.
yeah, in the same thought process, I'm like, Brandon likes turtles, and media has caused an uproar of a population control epidemic.
Skipped over my awesome comment. I said, for gosh sakes, wash your hands.
Well, I'm literally still on my first part there.
You skipped me. I was literally the first comment you
You
prick.
catching up,
I'm
Chris?
still reading that.
Oh yeah, you right.
Oh, this is a long thread.
Yeah, it
The
went
media
on.
has
Super
caused an
long.
uproar of a population control epidemic. Kill the old, take your plan B, and hell Satan.
Okay, now that's the point right there. The kill the old, where old boy Willie jumped in and lost his cornflakes.
At that moment, he realized he was soft.
Well, but here's the thing, and so we can clear this up a little bit. I told Willie privately that you didn't mean that about anybody in particular.
No, it's a fucking joke, and it was clear on his post that
Not only is it a joke,
You
but
literally
it's-
have Canada recommending to not treat old people.
There
like
you
that.
go. There you go.
You have Canada.
That's socialized medicine.
Socialized medicine stating do not treat old people who are infected.
Yes.
Also,
This is-
according
Yeah.
to that podcast that we all listened to,
Yeah, I did.
Of course.
the gentleman that was on Joe Rogan stated that he had heard from Milan, a hospital in Milan, that they were
Mulan?
Milan, Italy. Was that
Oh, Milan.
Milan.
You got to say it with the right accent.
Milan.
There you go.
Fuck.
Thank you.
They were discussing.
Let me say it.
That
Milan.
the doctors were
Milan.
discussing not treating the elderly. Because,
They were. That's exact. Okay.
yeah, because
They actually publicly came out
Yeah.
and discussed to the media because of the
Did you
hospital.
delete the messages? No.
Because
gone?
some of them are
he might have
deleted.
deleted.
Oh, okay.
So
Either that or he
so
blocked you and you can't see.
so here's
No,
the thing.
if you can see one,
Italy
you can see
did because Italy's having such a shutdown about it. they are actually, doctors are actually discussing in public, if you're of a certain age and a certain health level, meaning are you already sick, are you already risky, we are going to keep you comfortable, but we're not going to do a lot for you because there's a lot of other people that we have to treat.
They don't have
it's called rationing.
they don't have the faculties to literally.
And it's rationing.
I do not require the facilities on this, big man.
Yeah.
But that's the truth is it's rationing,
It's sad,
and it's
but
what
true.
has to happen when you have mass health issues. That's what happens.
It's like
I've said on previous sessions episodes that we need to stop worrying about old people. I've said this personally.
And you don't mean, and let's clear this up so everybody understands.
Yeah,
Zach doesn't mean he doesn't care about old people.
No. In accordance to the Hippocratic Oath, you first value new life, not old.
Yes.
Okay, so I want everybody to understand. So everybody gives Zach a hard time and talks crap about him, and he says stuff very plainly and plain speak. But what he means by first the old, what he means by that is in society, the truth is the old and the less
abled
Yes.
are the ones that get, look,
They have weaker immune systems.
they have weaker immune systems. And the
That's all
truth of the
there is to
matter is somebody could say, well, Zach, you're sick. Yeah, but you have viability still.
But I would still be that first person who said, save him over me.
You would.
Yeah, of course.
And if you come into a
And even in your
situation-
state, you're probably stronger than most elderly or babies.
Right.
And in a mass hysteria situation, which we're in, information gets all skewed and crappy and twisted and stupid. And then what happens when Zach says first the old, everybody goes, oh, Zach wants to kill old people. And Zach, no. What Zach is saying is, whenever there's a health concern of this nature, let me tell you something. If it comes down to a mass treatment of people, there are going to be numerous places in this country that are going to have to deal with the decision of this person's 75 years old and has COPD.
And I want you to understand, your doctors are trained this way as well.
They are trained in medical school through this because they have to. It's not about thinning the herd because God does that okay already. It's
You do
about
no
the
harm
fact
and
that
you
Noah.
value new life.
you value new life or
He's got his
viable
ways.
life, and you have to be you have to think about that. So
What?
to clear everybody up in case somebody tries
the comment he made.
to take your words
I had to
and
run
mess
to the
them up,
restroom, so I didn't get to see it. My phone.
Zach's not saying kill old people. He's not saying that. He's not saying to Willie, hey, your dad's not worth anything. He's not saying that. He's saying that in this situation, when you're talking about a mass pandemic, as it's been declared, the old will be the first that will be let go. It has
Absolutely.
nothing to do with
The old,
Zach not
the
liking old
disabled.
people.
Yeah.
So this is why this all became a big issue because Zach says exactly what comes out. He says first the old.
True.
What Zach means by the old will die. That is truth. If we had anarchy and we had an Armageddon
Anarchy.
and
I'm
we
all
were
hopped up
living
on
in,
Mountain Dew.
if we were all in a colony
Yeah.
and we had somebody that was 75 years old and
Survival of the
Brandon
fittest.
Sorry,
was
Brandon.
younger,
See you
I would
later,
want
bud.
this guy to live
Absolutely.
who was more viable. And if I was
I
a
thought you were the
75-year-old,
old one. Oh.
I'd be
Killing
like
Eric
in
off. Okay.
Midsummer
Sorry.
and I'd jump off a cliff and smash my own face.
As
Yep.
you should.
I should.
In that type of situation, you should.
And I should make the decision how I want to go.
Of course.
So here's how I want to go.
Oh, I
No,
love
wait.
it.
Here's how I want to go.
Bringing it back
I'm going
to
to tell
3
you.
weeks ago.
No, wait. Here's how I want to go. When I get to that point, it's time to go. I want sex. I want to be
we
as
all?
high. I want to be as high as possible. I'm not talking about like skeechy high. I want to be like comfortable high. Yeah.
Feeling good.
Yeah. And then I want someone to give me a bunch of pills, and I want to go off in a field in Montana.
Depending, Eric, depending on how you get high, you might not even need those pills. They give you
That's
enough.
what I'm saying.
Eric, they
And
give you
then-
enough Dilaudid, you're gonna feel so good as you go.
And then either I'm going to
So
have
good.
a gun with me, or I'll find another way, and then you guys don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could put flowers in my skull. I don't care.
I'm gonna turn your skull into
You
a
are?
challenge.
He's gonna pop out your.
Yes.
Okay, he's gonna fuck it. I'm gonna clean it. I'm gonna drink out of it.
You just got really
Or put it
dark.
on my desk.
What Zach really means is he's going to fuck my skull.
That's exactly what I mean.
Dude, I totally agree.
You agree? All right, man. Let's see.
Look at that. Look
See?
at that.
Love your hair.
Oh, thank you.
People coming up agreeing. I like it.
You can get the same look.
Can I just say something on this real
You
quick?
can have that. I hardly have any.
Dude, I had that thread. He
Yeah,
accused me
I
of
have a
being
cancer survivor, so I lost my hair a couple years ago.
Hold on, wait.
Thank you so much.
Let Chris
Please
say
come back and
something, 'cause
mention, comment
He
anytime.
read what was on.
Especially
Dude,
on my hair.
He accused you several times of being an internet tough guy.
Of course.
But
Who's
you
the
go to
internet
his
tough guy?
He called me a liberal.
Oh, let's get to that part.
A lefty liberal.
A lefty liberal fucktard keyboard warrior.
This motherfucker's the
Sacrilege.
most
Yeah.
libertarian, fucking
Conservative.
right-leaning.
But,
Yeah.
let me say
Yeah.
this.
Well, no, he's not super right wing because that sounds
I
bad.
said right-leaning.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad. You're right.
Let me say
Hey,
this.
what do you call a lady
He calls
one you like shorter than the other?
What?
Eileen. So I'm a single mom. I gotta get the dad jokes
You're
too.
just getting prettier and sexier to me every day, Caitlin.
Well, apparently Nick
Because there's-
Plissken has some choice words for you.
Oh,
but I didn't
shut up.
have
Let
to
Monroe
fucking
talk.
report his shit because it was disgusting.
Oh my
He
god.
calls you an internet tough guy if he's
Luckily, my phone is dead and I
But
didn't get to
you
see
go to
it.
this man's profile, and his profile pic is like an animated thing. There's no pic of
It's a
him
big old weed
Yeah.
pot.
No
leaf,
pic of
pot
him.
leaf.
on the profile that someone that's not his friend can access, like yours. With,
That's
yours
not,
got,
you need
and
take that off
then
there.
he lists his job
No,
as,
just take it off.
Oh.
as puppet master at Illuminati.
Reported to Facebook, they'll have to do it.
You can't edit. You can't delete.
No, we're not admin.
What did it say?
You are.
I gotta know what the comment
don't
was
wanna
because I
know.
do want to
You
know.
It's
Trust
not.
me.
It's
Tell
not
me
very
later.
nice.
I will. I took.
Okay, listen. Hold on
Thank
before
you.
you do that.
Thank
Listen.
you.
Let me
I'm a really
say
tough
something
bitch.
to everybody that's messaging. I'm gonna delete comments. This is the first time this has come up. Most of the time, the people that come on and comment are having fun with us and commenting on the subject. For what this guy commented, what's his name? Nick
Nick
what?
Plissken?
Nick Plissken, we were screaming your praises earlier, but
Yeah,
Nick
you were
Plissken,
really cool
at
to us
first
for
you
a
started
second
out,
there.
now you're a skeevy little prick. So don't comment nasty
Seriously,
stuff.
fuck you, bub.
Yeah, don't comment nasty stuff because you come across as a skeevy little nasty prick. And I'm going to delete your comment. You've been reported to Facebook. Don't comment that stuff on that. We don't do that stuff on here, man. Look, we joke about a lot of stuff on here, but you actually called out somebody on our dais, and I take that personal. So fuck you. I don't say that very often.
No,
but
no,
fuck
seriously,
you.
fuck you.
And we're gonna ban you from the page. So you're done. Anyway, finish what you were saying.
I was just saying, the guy.
What a prick.
He calls Zach an internet tough guy, but like, there's not one single picture of actually him on his profile.
Good. Hey, didn't I say that?
And he lists his job as puppet master at Illuminati.
Yeah.
Like, you want to say
So-
where you work, you won't have a
Well,
picture
here's
of
the thing,
yourself.
Chris. He's
You're an
also
internet pussy.
He's also 38 years old, and he's single, which that's fine. You can be
This,
single.
this is the first time
He's
I've ever
leaving.
run across a
Good,
chef
good.
who has this
That's
soft
messed
of
up.
skin.
That's real messed up.
Is he a chef?
He is an Olive Garden chef.
Nick Plissken will never taste my asshole. That's all I gotta say about it.
Yeah, we're gonna take
Never.
care of him. Don't worry.
It's gonna take a really special man. That is an after marriage.
I wish Nick would actually
That
come
is an
down
after
here.
wedding kind of deal.
Real
And
quick,
you are not husband material,
I want to
sir.
say sorry because
like-
I'm the one who pushed for you to get on this.
Hey, no, I'm
And now
happy to be
we got
here.
some fucking prick
Well,
like this.
You know, it was very disrespectful. First off, to any woman, you should never say something like that. That is really, really wrong. That will not get you laid. That will not get you to that point with any girl. And also, I'm kind of flattered. Because that is something that he's sexualizing me, so thank you.
Well,
At the
okay.
same time,
I mean,
go fuck yourself.
obviously,
Okay.
women
Stick
only
your
want to be
finger up
asked if
your
they
own
want their
asshole
asshole
and eat
licked
it.
in.
Like, I
Okay.
don't know. I don't
So
know.
here's-
if you were going to say
I don't know what you're
something
into.
remotely like that,
I mean, it's a whole soul profile.
Yeah,
and
so-
you guys got 7
Wait.
Just say,
fucking
you're
friends.
beautiful, bring her back.
Yeah, so let's be clear, okay? Nick, I know if you're still watching. I don't know if you are, but here's the
Fake
thing.
ass profile, man.
Yeah,
got
he's
7
a
fucking
fake
friends.
guy. He's a troll.
Yeah,
But
fuck
if you
that
are
shit.
watching, let me give you a little clue,
Or
right?
ladies, don't fuck that shit. He's a
Caitlin's
piece of
single.
shit.
Let me give you a little clue, right? I'm married.
Single, ready to
Caitlin's single.
mingle.
Ready to mingle. Caitlin's super
Yeah.
intelligent. She's super in tune with herself and the world. So let me tell you how you get at Caitlin. Let me just give you a little on a real woman how you get at it.
Hey, Caitlin, you ever have your asshole licked by a fat man in an
that
overcoat?
literally was what I was going to say. Why
So-
did
I
you
got
post
suspicious
that?
on
That
this,
shit would have
yes.
been
I would have laughed so hard. I probably would have asked for your
you
number,
wanted to
sir.
say something sexual towards Caitlin without being so
Movie
overt and
quotes.
skeevy,
disgusting.
Yeah,
you could have said,
yeah.
where did Caitlin go? Man, I'm vibing on Caitlin. Caitlin's amazing. Hey, Caitlin, here's my picture. Would you like to call me
I
sometime?
have a pretty good idea on who this is.
Pretty good idea.
So what I'd say
Sounds
to
like
you
a real
is, Nick, you're
shithead
obviously
bitch.
a closet freak because your picture's not even on your thing. So I'm wondering who you are to begin with. But my
Yeah.
whole thing about this show is up until today, we never had this issue. So if you are someone that's commenting on our
My
threads,
comments are gone.
if you're commenting on our threads and you are going to say something about something on the dais, or if you're going to talk about anybody in any kind of a negative way, I'm fine with you want to say stuff about me or Zach or anything else. You think it's him?
Pretty sure.
Well, don't say it because we don't
Oh,
want.
Andrew Pritchard, is that who you think it is?
Well, he can hear you.
Oh, well.
Let's not say
I don't
who
think it would be
is.
him. He sold me a car.
What does it
Or
say?
tried to sell me a car.
Vess actually knows the guy who's called me out earlier.
Oh, it might be Willie. Oh. Okay, so let's just lay it out on the air because you guys kind of put it out there.
Well, we don't
so
know what-
if
we don't know.
we don't know this for sure, okay? We got a lot of hypotheses and a lot of guesses because Nick doesn't have a picture on his thing and Willie doesn't have a picture on his thing. So as I see Neve from Catfish do, he
Yeah.
does all of this investigative stuff and things start to line up. So it's kind of lining up. Vesper might have a point. Vesper is kind of in tune with this stuff. It might
Hi,
be
Vesper,
Willie.
I love you.
So I will say this:
Miss
if
your
this
face,
is
girl.
Willie watching and Willie's trying to make the feed seem bad, Caitlin's not bothered by your bullshit. We had to show it to her. You just seem like a closet freak. So we're going to get away from all of that now. Whoever that Nick is and Willie and all this stuff, but don't be an internet warrior and then claim that somebody else is, even though you're an internet tough guy saying you're going to bust somebody in the mouth. You're going to come to somewhere and do it. He said, I'm not going to come to your place and do it. Well, let me tell you, I invited you down there to have a conversation, but you said you were done with it. So you're done with it, and we're done with it.
He says, and I quote, "Thanks, Joe Rogan."
Thanks, Joe Rogan.
I guess I'm fat. Am I fat, Joe Rogan?
You're fat, Joe. I mean, you are the only bald. Bastard.
Yeah, but if I were Joe Rogan, I would issue you a fight challenge, and I would whoop your ass. Now,
Can we get that pulled up, Jamie?
so here's the thing. I'll put it this way: I'm out of shape and fat right now,
I fucking broke Kate.
but I still got
All that
hands.
other shit didn't,
So
but
here's
that
what I'll
did.
say. Anybody watching, I'll say this to anybody. Anybody watching
great.
that wants to challenge me to a sparring match, you give me a little time to get in shape, and I'll tool you up.
Not
I'll
only a
tool
sparring
you up.
match, but a verbal sparring match. He will.
Oh no, we'll start
bring
here.
him on the show. Let's
Yeah,
talk.
we'll let you come on
Yeah.
the show. We'll have a nice debate, but of course,
Yeah,
you,
Nick.
You know,
Nick,
no,
come
you
on
know,
down.
honestly,
Willie, come on down.
Even if
Let's
Nick
talk.
Pliskin
Let's
is not
chat.
Willie, I invite Willie and Nick Pliskin.
That's what I said. Please come
Yeah.
on down. I'd love to chit chat.
Please, I would
First I thought
love.
you said
Well, verbally
Nick
slap you.
Pliskin isn't
And actually
Willie,
slap you.
and then I heard you say Willie and Willie and Willie. Willie.
But listen, but here's the thing: we found this out by that other person that you ended up having the transgender.
Right.
We invited a transgender on to come on the show, and in all fairness, put their argument and what they feel in front of everybody. And
I don't know them, but they were
I
really
don't
good
either.
looking.
I
Hope
was
they
like,
come
"What's up?"
back.
And then we invited
Single at his time.
them on, and she refused to come on.
Oh, that's
So
a
we
bummer.
will say to anybody, right? If you don't agree with us or you have something that you want to say, like Caitlin came on.
I love a good drag queen. I'm all about
Yeah.
trans
No,
women,
it's
trans
not about
men.
attacking, but
Yeah,
We want
I want you to come so I can be on your
But
side.
don't be
like,
scared
I
to
want to
come
be
on because
your hero here.
I
So
want
we
you.
respect you, and also
We can swap wigs.
we support you.
Just like Willie, for
Love
example.
you.
After all of this, let me tell you something Willie said to me.
Willie's
He was
awful.
giving me respect.
I
I
don't
was
know
trying to
this
give
even.
him mutual respect. At the end of it, he asked me, he said, well, maybe I can come in and DJ for you one time. I opened Pitters 10 years ago, and I'm like, first of all, you called my bar shitty. So guess what? That's not going to happen.
Then you threaten acts of violence
and you
on the
threaten
bar.
acts of violence, and he goes, I assure you I would.
We didn't even get to the
promise
actual
you,
violence that he was going to.
I promise you I won't do that about punching him in the mouth.
Well, he's removed.
He promised.
He's removed a substantial amount of threats.
Okay.
A substantial amount of
So
violence.
maybe
acts.
he's thought through it, and maybe he's kind of thought about it. So I want to give him due credit. Maybe he's done like a lot of people do. He got his emotions going, and he said some stuff that he wanted to pull back. So we'll give him credit. He did pull some of them out.
I mean, I will say though, the one that he posted that made me say, "Hey,"
Yeah.
I said, "Flame each other on your own time. Get off my shit."
Yes.
Well,
matter
and then
where
you
it's at.
threatened
Yeah.
violence, dude.
And he
Yeah.
said, "Why are you threatening violence?" Or, no, I said
You
no.
said that.
I said no. You're threatening violence, dude. Because what he said was, delete the initial comment and the thread will be gone. The initial comment was his funny ass shit, and the reason I wasn't going to delete it was because Philadelphia 2, AIDS is not enough, is fucking hysterical.
Look, it was a movie that was made. Tom Hanks is in quarantine. Come on,
I
put it
wasn't here for
together.
this earlier. What?
The point is that the initial comment
This is
that
why I shouldn't have
started
left the
this whole
table.
shit was that he said
That's great. I love it.
A stand-up
That's
comedy
hilarious,
breaks a
Zach.
joke.
He did. Yeah, exactly.
Comedy should always be
He
taken
made
with
a
a grain of
comedic
salt.
joke.
Zach is a comic.
I'm not
He
about
is.
to delete his
comic and a teddy
comments
bear
because it
and a
ensued
little right wing, and we love
violent
him for it.
response because somebody
Sure
couldn't
you are.
fucking take a
I
joke.
love you.
That is literally the point of comedy.
To push boundaries.
No, not only that, but
To make people uncomfortable.
comics don't say shit that they believe. They say it because
Yes.
it's fucking
Yeah.
funny.
And the best comics
That's
make
not his real
make
belief.
you
Does he
laugh
really think that
from
all
being
people should die?
uncomfortable.
No.
So we've got a few
It's a
minutes here, so
joke.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
just a
read the last part of our conversation, so you guys know what happened.
sure.
You guys don't know about this.
Yeah.
So I told him that you were telling a joke about that thing, and he said, "Joke or no joke, my dad's important to me. Get down that dude's throat, and my shit stops. Period." Meaning, I'm supposed to stop you from talking.
That's cute.
Also, no,
So then
that
I said-
he never claimed, hey,
It wasn't
Willie,
about
your
his
dad
dad.
should
No,
die.
it wasn't about that.
I have
So-
two parents.
never said that.
So then I said to him, he believes in natural selection. He believes that people, it's just part of the world. I said, it's not about you or your family. You let that get in your feels. He said, at this point, catching a charge seems like a minimal problem. Old school, recognize old school. That's where he's calling me out on my old school. I
well,
said,
he's trying to say that he's tough.
I said, catching a case over internet squabbles is not old school. Old school doesn't work that way. Old school cut out people from their lives, lose respect, and move along. He said, after that mouth has been corrected, meaning yours,
Oh, Jesus.
see, that's where old school conflicts, MFs, catch hands for disrespect. But it's dying, meaning it's fine, done. Brandon deleted it.
COVID
Teach
2019.
your boy with a BOI, because that's the, you know,
boy.
that's the old school
way.
Or for my state
he's
visa
going to
my
catch
friends, that's
hands to that
bioionic.
mouth one day. My apologies, talking to me. I said, no, that's not what you throw hands for, my dude. You have a conversation. Then if you don't see eye to eye, you move along. You throw hands and say family or friends. Anyway, be at peace. And he gave me a thumbs up. So listen, he's 38 years old. I'm teaching lessons to these youngsters. Here's my whole point before we close out the night. Mass hysteria is what we started talking about tonight.
Read this one too, because I didn't reply. I didn't think it needed it.
Oh, so Willie says this was to you?
Yeah, to me, after I had told
Okay.
him that he threatened violence and that.
By the way, his profile picture is a cannabis turkey. So, whatever.
Oh,
I'm sorry, man, but no, there's times I just don't back down. Tomorrow being the anniversary of my mother's death, and this shit escalating, and that dude referring to me and saying "kill the old," I'm in no way wrong. You were wrong. He's not talking about your family.
And he's not saying
You're
kill
being
the old.
ridiculous.
He's saying that
Who is it?
it's
Somebody
a
saying
virus.
something
It's
else?
going to
No,
affect
this
the
is
old
that-
and the young
no,
first.
sex that you.
The
They're
text
the ones
I
that are
sent
going to
to you.
go.
Oh,
It's
I hadn't
unfortunate, but
seen-
it's
I
the way
hadn't
of the
seen
world.
yeah. So we clear up everything, right? Mass hysteria is basically what we kind of did tonight, which was we talked about something, we tried to calm everything down, but mass hysteria is what the media and what even Joe Rogan for that matter, that's what's going on in the world right now is mass hysteria.
I do apologize.
They are creating an hysteric reaction to something that is basically the flu, like Caitlin said. Is it something we need to be aware of? Is it something we need to be cautious about? Sure.
You look
if you
so
come
good.
around me coughing and
So
sneezing,
good.
I don't want you coughing and sneezing on. It has nothing to do with COVID or Wuhan or coronavirus. It has to do with I don't want somebody sneezing or coughing on me.
Also, if you're sick with the flu, fucking stay home from
Yeah,
work.
That's
yeah,
the
don't
next
go to
thing.
work. Don't go.
We
don't
all
go
can
out.
take our own precautions. Cody was not feeling good tonight. Cody got sent home for Mary Jane's, so Cody
This guy
bowed
knows
out.
us.
He said, "I'm not coming in," and we were like,
This
"Thank
guy,
you,
this guy
Yes,
watches.
thank you.
thank you."
There he does.
That's a direct hit at me.
I don't know. I didn't see
Yeah.
it. What is it?
Yeah, like calm down.
I don't know. I don't know. Who this
Eric, just say the word, bud. We'll be there. I guess Adam Monahan. I used to work. Adam was friends with guys that were in Riff Raff,
it
which
was
became
not
Gladiator Fight Club. So I've sparred with Adam, and he knows
What
I
is
can fight.
Gladiator
But Adam's like, just say the word, we'll be there.
were talking about it.
Meaning, I guess he thinks we're going to start this little fight down here. No. So
Second-
Nick
what's the second
Nick
rule?
Pliskin,
Gladiator Fight
whoever that fake name person is, you guys are pretty mean. So this is a knock against.
This is a direct hit
A
at
direct
me.
hit against Zach. So we all know because we did a whole episode, a couple episodes. We talked about Zach. Zach has an inoperable brain tumor that he's dealing with on an ongoing basis. He goes through chemo. They blast his immune system. He comes back strong. He gets his sleep. He gets his rest. He comes back. He's dealing with it. I've seen the pictures. It's not pretty. So Nick, being the prick that he is, which I don't even know why I'm giving him credit,
Yeah,
but he
fuck
says,
that
you guys are
asshole."
pretty mean. I'm literally dying. Fight night at Shakers tonight. What an idiot.
Fucking come on down, bud.
I dare you.
I left my Nike
listen,
stompers at
listen,
home, but I bet these shoes will kick your ass
Listen,
just
I'm going to
fine.
end the night because we're starting to get a little bit ridiculous.
I don't mean to be
Listen, we're
violent.
not going to have any fights down here in Shakers.
We're not.
Absolutely
But I'll tell
I'm too
whoever,
sweet for that. I won't
whoever
fight
Nick
anybody.
Pliskin is, which I think this is not who we said it was. I think it's the other.
I think it might be somebody.
Yeah. No, I'll
If
tell
it
you.
is, then
think-
he
I
already
think
knew
I
me,
know
and
what
he
it
should have said that to my face.
Well,
When I
no,
met
but
him, if
that's
that's
what
who
he
it
does.
was.
He does that
He
anonymous
should have said it
shit.
to my face or texted
He
me.
does that
and
anonymous
in a
stuff.
much
Actually gonna
better
message
way.
you privately, Eric, and I think
Yeah.
I know who it is.
That's a
but-
direct hit at me.
Yeah, but he's a prick.
It will
I
talk.
don't know
we'll
who
talk.
it is.
Well, when we get off, I'll
We'll
tell you who I
talk.
think
We'll
it is.
discuss it
And the
because
guy that I think
we
it
don't
is.
know. We don't know.
No, but this
But
seems.
It may be.
Yes, yes.
The mayor of Cape would never say anything like that.
I don't know
Yeah.
about all that. I think.
Right?
And when I
Yeah,
said,
don't put
Maybe.
that out because that's what he wants. So anyway, fight night at Shakers, whatever. I don't know. So we're gonna end things. It's been a lively debate tonight, guys.
It's been mass hysterical.
It's
It's
been
been mass
dogs and
hysteria.
cats living together.
And so I will say to anybody out there that's listening, if you decide to come to Shakers tonight and you come down with ill intentions, we will deal with you as we deal with anybody. We'll get you outside and you will go home in your car and you will leave.
We'll catch you outside. How about
We're
that?
not a bunch of
How about
gangsters
that?
down here. Yeah, catch me outside. How about that?
Sorry, dude.
We're not a bunch of
outside.
gangsters down here. We're business people. We're grown ups and we
I
don't
thought
roll
you said
that
we're
way.
bitches, people. I was
But I will tell you
No, we're
this:
not.
if you come down with ill will trying to hurt somebody, we will deal with you accordingly. We don't want that to happen. That's not how we run Shakers. But we are here to entertain. We're here to make people have a good time, and we have a great bar
And
here.
Eric, when I'm out talking about this place, I always tell people, like, come see me at karaoke or when I DJ on the weekends, whatever. We have a very fun family atmosphere. You can walk in
Yeah,
here by
it's
yourself
very
and you're
laid
going to
back.
leave with a family.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way it goes. I come in here alone all the time.
So
and I've made more
we're going to go off
friends.
camera and talk about who
It's
I
wonderful.
think it is and why I think it is. But to the person that's doing that message, I think I know who you are, and because I know who you are obviously you have a lot of family issues. Your parents hate you. You hate your parents. You are a thief. You are I think a pedophile, if I'm not mistaken. And you also are one of the lowest forms homeless, one of the lowest forms of life. Well, they hate him. That's why they died. You are one of the lowest forms of life on earth because you always pretend to be somebody else so you can say nasty stuff instead of saying it face to face to somebody because you're fake and you're obnoxious. So anyway, to all you fake obnoxious people, go screw yourself. This has been Shakers. I did that again. I haven't done that for years.
Sessions.
For a while.
Sessions.
This has
The
been
Sessions
Sessions.
from
This is episode
Shakers.
32. Thank you for tuning
32
in.
episodes.
Every Thursday, 8 to 10 p.m. It's been a lively show. It's been a lot of fun, and we got a lot of things vented and out in the open.
all on the
And
table,
don't
guys.
forget this
All
weekend,
out
Friday night DJEN, which is me. So you're gonna have fun music. And Saturday night we have live music with Zana and Ravener, Blind Velvet. Who else? Blind Velvet, the Final Pollution, and
Final Pollution, it's gonna be
and
all
Kyle
chain.
Wayne Fields. So.
Kyle Fields is so good and attractive.
Give him like 10 more years and it's going to be DJ ED.
I don't know yet.
Well, we might talk about the moon hoax next week. Or
Ooh,
No, I think here's
the
what we'll do
moon
next week.
landing.
Here's what we'll do next week.
What are we doing?
We'll do conspiracies next week.
Yeah, I love the JFK,
Okay.
Beatles.
We're gonna. You
We
guys
got
pick
so
a.
much shit that we
Paul
can talk
is dead,
about
y'all.
that.
Paul is dead.
Okay,
He was the
nice.
walrus.
That's definitely him.
Next
So
week.
we'll
I hope
see
I'm
you
here
guys
next week.
from all my
Hope you
guests,
guys ask me
Caitlin,
back.
Chris, Brandon, and Zach. We appreciate you guys every Thursday 8 to 10. For all you new people that stop by, share the feed and come back and see us next week.
Hit that
Thank
share
you.
button.
Thank you.